I got the TV on. And then we got one.
So to bring us up on the TV screen, what does he do next?
The best way to do it,
I'll
do it and I'll show you. The best way to do it is to go over here and go to search and then pull up Big Time ENT.
Right.
And then it'll hit you with the
Y'all got some headphones over there in front of y'all?
And there's, there you go, you'll see Born Hustler Radio.
Y'all got headphones over there? Like hanging on the...
Alright, so if you look above your head, y'all right there on the screen, right there. You can see it.
And I'm going to send you the link to this. Well, I can't send it to you. I'm going to send it to him.
Okay.
And then he can send it to you. I don't have your social media.
Y'all want to speak into y'all mics real quick for me?
Testing.
Hello?
You good?
Do it one more time for me.
Testing, hello?
Yeah, I can hear you through your mic.
Testing.
Yo, yeah. Everybody live.
One, two.
All right, you got two mics in front of him. I don't know which one. Take out 5. Turn off 5.
Alright.
That'll be for the guest that comes in here.
Alright, then let's do it again.
So go ahead talking to that again. Testing.
Yeah, I can hear him.
Alright, everybody good? We good. Alright. Straight that money. Alright, we about to get into some music. Anybody tuning in live on YouTube? What's up, y'all? Y'all already know y'all behind the scenes with us. Trying to get our shit together. Running late. Y'all know how it's going, man. But we here. So we appreciate y'all tuning in for us. Hit the like, comment below. Y'all already know how it's going. We're about to start our show. And we gonna get into it. We'll get them the long ass 8-minute song, man. For real. I just gotta do one thing, put my instrumental up there. And then we gonna be up.
I'm going to watch us. Alright, G, what is it on YouTube?
Oh, it's Born. It's just like it is written above your head. BONHUSTLA Radio. Born Hustler Radio.
Can they find it that way on YouTube?
Yeah. If you search it, it's gonna bring you straight to our page.
All right. All right. You still outside? Tell them I'm good. I'll be waiting on me.
This was the instrumental y'all was playing. Still a G.
Did you find it?
Yeah, we went on with that.
Yeah, Anthony did.
Okay.
Did you find the one that tells you what's live now, the one that's live now? You got that?
Did you find the one that's live now? I'm not looking it up because I can't see anything.
You'll know when you got the one that's live too, because you'll see you yourself.
What am I doing?
Yeah, I hear him. Somebody got it going on now.
Yeah.
I got it. Yeah. All right. And
I need this to unfreeze.
hit right click the pause button on that. It's still playing. That's why you can't take it out.
No, you see this icon?
Oh.
No, I ain't trying to take it out.
Yeah, I know it's locked. Why is it doing that?
I don't know.
Alright.
So, I don't know. Yeah.
You can't do. You have to close that. Open the whole thing back up. Hopefully, it won't take forever to load up.
Yeah, I can't do nothing.
All right. Let me switch out with you real quick. Hold on.
You do that. I gotta walk to this car anyway. Grab my drink. Don't worry, we got 2 hours, bro.
Oh, God.
You're on YouTube
Anthony
right now.
Anthony might pass out on
Nah,
me.
he ain't gonna pass up.
I don't know.
Well, once we get into the conversation, 2 hours, you ain't gonna fit. The time you gonna be here gonna fly so fast. Do this And it still seems like it don't be enough time.
This is weird.
Even though I did go to sleep on him 1 week.
How you go to sleep on?
I was tired, man. I got a lot going on. I had just moved in my house from the 3rd floor of a building with no elevator.
Wow.
Yeah.
You should have called Property Angels to move you.
Oh, I don't even know anything about that. I just
That's
don't know
my
anything.
moving company.
Okay. Yeah, but see, at the time we hadn't even met yet. When I moved, that was before I met you at the gala and everything. Yeah. And I'm gonna do it yourself type of guy. Like, as soon as I know something got to be done, I'm just gonna get it done. And that's what we did. We just got it done in a day. But it took all day. Put everybody straight now. I mean, from a 1-bedroom apartment to a house on Curtis Street. So,
Oh.
yeah, we chilling. I don't like the rent though with it. I pay a basic and a double mortgage.
So what's been going on with y'all since the last
You
time
good?
we talked?
This is go.
So as of today,
It's gonna take a minute for this to load up.
today, our house is full, and I'm looking at a second house right now.
Okay.
Okay, that's
So-
good.
But they're friends with Cody.
It's all right.
So, but I think I told you how we started this. You're gonna wait and tell you that later.
Oh, you can tell us. Oh yeah, you want to wait? That's a good story. You can wait to tell us.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. We're about to load this
Hey,
up.
do me one more favor.
Yes, sir.
Having a mouse. Oh, let's go and pull up by him so I can make sure you're in the picture.
Yeah.
Just in case you do fall asleep this time, we can see it.
Oh no, I'm good.
He
Just
fell
get-
asleep.
Hey.
I think Anthony might beat you to it.
Uh-oh.
Oh, what?
Let me turn my phone down.
Oh yeah, the recording you laughing, but
Okay, now
You
he's
got me.
here too. Okay, this about to be fun.
Yo, you got here?
Yeah, he's here
All right,
too.
cool.
So
Cool. What time is it? We can start at 7:30. We good.
yeah, we're gonna get him at 7:30.
All right, cool. What does that say? Hit
485.
Hit the space bar.
Y'all, my friends on YouTube, y'all getting all the best behind the scenes footage right now of us working through our little technical difficulties. So we appreciate
I
that.
don't know why this ain't working, so I'm gonna just do it the easy way.
So,
Should did that in the first place.
All right, so you all set?
all right.
you gotta play the intro music. Not the 8 minutes. We come out.
We gonna start off with Rich Homie. That's what we do. How
Oh,
about
Rich
that?
Homie Quan.
Yeah. We're gonna start off with Rich Homie.
Can the last song be Shabuzi? Drink don't need no mix.
Yeah.
Have you had Heather on here yet, Albie?
No, not yet. Not yet. Not yet. We'll get her. We'll get her on the.
Yeah,
the
she
post
can't.
joint.
Doesn't know whether she's coming or going right now.
Yeah.
Gary mentioned her on the show today because he was shouting out y'all and what you had put in the group.
Yeah, about us doing the
Yeah.
film
Was it?
festival.
Who was mentioning who?
Of one of our other shows we got going on.
Uh,
Oh, y'all started? You started?
Yeah.
Oh.
How long have you guys been doing this? Or have this podcast going?
They have been doing this. It's been about 6 months now. More, a little bit more.
Yeah.
How long? Yeah, about 6 months.
That's his mom.
I've owned this radio station since 2013,
Wow.
but
that's
I
awesome.
stopped. I'm also a photographer.
Oh,
This
yeah?
was my photography studio. I kind of converted it to the radio studio,
Yeah.
and I started doing the radio, then I stopped,
Yeah.
and I kind of picked it up again maybe about 2 years ago, 2.5 years ago. So we got right now on this network, we got 12 different shows on the network,
So how does one start their own radio station?
It depends. It depends on what type of music, what type of radio station you're trying to do.
'Cause, I mean, how do you even compete? there?
Like if you want to do something like we're able to play all types of music. Like certain radio stations you can do, and you don't have to get a license for, because you can just play. If you don't play commercial music, like because we play commercial music, we have to have a license to play commercial music. So we have to pay. I have to pay a monthly fee every month to be able to do it.
I mean, what's your revenue stream? Do you have advertisers?
Right now, the revenue stream is growing.
Do you have any advertisers?
Yeah.
Oh,
We just, matter of fact, we just hired a sales manager to make sure we can get better with the revenue stream.
Good.
But at first, like what we'll do is we're like for sales, we charge. We're really inexpensive when it comes to it. We charge like $100 for a month of advertising, and with that package you get a minimum one ad every other hour. So we're looking at 12 ads a day for 30 days.
For
it's
how
like
much?
$100.
Well, shit, y'all had any of the campaigns, man?
Yeah, well, that's like we when I say we, I'm talking me and my partner Gary. We pretty much were handling that up until last week when we hired the sales manager. So I don't know what all she's doing right now, 'cause we haven't had a sit down. But with that, you're getting like, with the $100, you get like 380 ads a month.
What's the reach?
Yeah, that's a
Yeah,
giveaway.
the reach is it's the internet. It's global. We have listeners in every.
Okay, oh, that's right, because
yeah.
radio now can be.
Yeah, we have
Okay.
listeners everywhere. Like we have listeners from here, all over the states, all states. We have listeners. We have a big following in Brazil. For some reason, we have a big following
for some
in.
reason.
Yeah, we do. We have, as a matter of fact, we have a great following in Trinidad and Tobago. So much so that we added Caribbean music because of it.
That's cool.
We also have a following in Russia. I don't know why we have a following in Russia, but we do have a following in Russia, so we kind of be weary of that.
Well, that's
but-
because our story is global.
Yeah,
I mean,
so-
the work that we do is global. I mean, Anthony's story, it's not, I mean, it's universal.
Well, that's the one thing with the network that we try to make sure, because we're based out of Virginia. How much time you got left? I don't want to talk over your thing.
Good.
Because we're based out of Virginia, we try to keep everything. We try to talk about everything in a more global thing. Like we'll say, if we mention an area, we'll say Richmond or we'll say Virginia, or if we're especially even as little as saying what time it is. We never say it's 7 o'clock. We'll say it's like 20 after the hour, because we have
Right, got
listeners
it,
in
right.
different time zones and
Well, that's helpful because we can speak in general terms too. That
Yeah.
way it's not too like localized. So people
right,
know.
and that works for us because it allows listeners that might want to advertise to know that they can advertise with us and be more global and be more, like you said, non-local. Like we have independent artists that we've had them perform live in the studio. We have them come through here that are being heard in places they never would
And
be
it's
able
on
to get heard.
YouTube.
Yeah.
Are you guys do you guys stay busy? Like people booked, like trying to get in here, or like? Because if not, I know guys that can use that. They're doing great work. That I love the same way someone selected us.
Yeah.
We here, like we have a large network of guys doing great work. Some of them do music and they're returning citizens, and they do like positive music.
Well, let's do this. Let me get your information before I leave here, and we can connect. Because we're always looking for not only new people that want to even be part of this. Like we're always looking for new shows.
Yeah.
We don't just do music shows. Like this right here is more of a podcast.
So these guys, so Albie and Keith rent, or like they buy this hour or this segment. I mean,
Sorta, not really.
Not really buy it, but
yeah, I know
like,
what you mean.
this
But no,
this
yeah.
is their sponsored
This is
show.
their show.
This is their show on your radio
Right.
network. Okay, got it. Okay.
Right. This is their show. This is what they do this once a week. And we also play their show. We also repeat their show on Saturday. So like this show will play again Saturday. And like I said, it plays on the internet radio station, and I'm sure he can send you out a link to that. But it also plays on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter as the video portion of it. The podcast portion plays on all of our social media. But this
Okay.
this plays right here. Like this is on our radio network. Like right now.
I just didn't want to get.
Do y'all have an Instagram page or something?
We do. It's path_reentry.
All right, I'm gonna send you
So that would be great. Yeah.
Pat.
Path_reentry. Send your
There we
picture,
go.
Leslie.
All right, I just sent you a
Send your
link.
picture of Leslie.
Path Reentry, nonprofit organization for providing support housing. Is that the right one?
It's path_reentry. Yeah, that's us.
With
yeah.
the. All right, I just sent y'all a link. I'm gonna Yeah, that's y'all. Okay.
Okay, I got it. Yeah. I see the message.
I'm gonna send you a link to the network.
We about to go hot, y'all.
Oh, all right.
About to go hot. Yo, 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 yo. Y'all know what time it is. It's a late start, but we here. It's Monday. September the 23rd.
The background.
We up. It's Born Hustla Radio. It's your man Al B.
And your man Olos.
We ain't here today, man. We got a special. It's been a day, man. Let me start that shit off like that. It's been a day. But we here. Nonetheless, we here. Getting ready for some big things going on. We miss y'all.
Hit that talk button. Nothing you just said went on air. Hit that talk button.
We miss. Oh, it is on.
No, the talk right there. Over the mic. Where the mic's at.
Yeah, it's on.
No, on the screen.
Where am I looking at? Oh,
Now.
my man. Look, oh man, look at that. See me, man. Look, we live. It's Monday. It's September the 23rd. Look, it's Born Hustla Radio. Now we got to do the intro all over again. It's your man Al B.
And your man Olos.
Okay, we live. We got it right this time. We in here, man. It's a good day today. That's what I'm gonna say. You know what I'm saying? We got some special guests in the building. A whole lot going on. We're gonna get into a whole lot today. This is an explosive show, special show today. We brought some guests in the building today, man. We really did bring some guests in the building, you know. So I don't know. I'm playing with the effects, trying to get it right, make it sound cool. You know what I'm saying? Y'all missed us last week. We've been in and out, transitioning. I moved. I did a whole lot of stuff. My partner Olos, he moved a couple weeks ago. So both of us been trying to put our houses together and situate all the situations that come with moving and everything like that. We appreciate y'all that's been tuning in to the reruns. Appreciate y'all that's been tuning in to BTN, Big Time Radio Network. We got the boss. He watching me right now. He's sitting right beside my ass on me, man. He looking at me, man. He ready to get me. But you already know how it is. Big G been in the building holding it down. He got a new show out too. There's been a whole lot of new stuff going on over here at BTN, man. For real. Yeah, I'm talking it down real quick right now. Because we got to catch up with everybody. We missed y'all. I missed y'all. Everybody tuning in. Still waiting for the person to send the furthest location where y'all from. Hit the website, thetimeradio.com, www.thetimeradio.com, man. Hit the message board. Let us know where you from. The person that's the furthest away, I'm going to come visit you. I'm lying. I ain't going to come visit you. I'm just saying that. Real quick. What's up, Olos?
Now that we in the building, big weekend in the place where we from. Richmond International Film Festival going on.
That starts tomorrow.
Yes, it does. And it has some great people attached to it. Hence the guests that we have in the building today from Path Reentry.
You know what I'm saying?
And y'all gonna get a chance to actually learn something that's gonna help you. And know that there's some people out here doing some real work out here.
Oh, yeah. Then we got a politician or candidate, somebody trying to be a politician. He going to come in for our politics as usual segment. And we gonna talk to him and see what he about, see what he going on. Mr. Tavares Floyd. He's a candidate for out here in Richmond, Virginia. He's a candidate for the 6th District Council seat. So we're going to bring him in a few for our Politics as Usual segment. And we don't know. Might make something brew up in here and see what we can get going with all these wonderful guests and all the platforms and the things that they got going on. So we're going to get into that probably in like the next 15 minutes, you know. Let's get into some, we can hear you whispering. We can hear you whispering. You can talk. You want to say something?
I did want to say something.
Go ahead, say something.
So one of our girls that works with us, that volunteers with us, told me to look at the camera, and I just, where's the camera?
Right in front of you.
Shout out to the volunteer. Shout out to the volunteer. Getting us right out here. I ain't even streaming on no platform right now. I'm not, but that's okay. I've been doing a lot. Let's get into it real quick. We got some Diddy news, unfortunately. Y'all know Diddy? Y'all familiar with Diddy?
Oh, yeah.
Puff Daddy? Come on. I hear a lot of heavy breathers say Diddy.
Did he do it?
Did he do it?
Yeah.
We got 1,000 bottles of baby oil to figure that one out. Yo, that's crazy. If y'all was with us a few months ago, Born Hustler Radio, we really did break this case out here because it was brought up by a producer named Lil Rod. Now, one thing about Born Hustler is this: we've been there, and we have not been there. Let me rephrase that.
Full disclaimer, sometimes he says stuff that I am 100% not in agreement with. Y'all already know this from episode 1, but go ahead.
Y'all see how he just ran away from me that quick? Nah, I'm
You
playing.
did just admit to being in the
I mean,
No, look. I mean, I'm just saying, look.
Everybody trying to get away from.
I'm gonna find a proper way to convey my message in a minute. Y'all see how I just did that?
Flashback moment, first episode. We was at the Trump rally. No, you were at the Trump rally. I was not there. Thank you.
Hey man, don't do
I will
that.
always clear it up for y'all. Where I was, it was not.
They tried to shoot my man again.
I was not at Diddy house. I've never been invited to the party. I never had a desire to be invited to the party.
What about TD Jakes though? Where is he?
What do you mean, where is TD Jakes?
Where TD Jakes? I ain't heard from him yet.
Well, you know,
Yeah, we not.
with all the controversy around big churches, super churches, TD Jakes been under fire.
Oh,
Because you got, when it comes to religion, you have two different type of believers. You got those that believe that the big churches are just big business, and that church should stay small, intimate setting. But for those of us who have been raised in religion and faith, and the Bible say fail not to assemble, so that's where the contradiction comes in there. So it's cool to have a church as long as it don't get too big. But that's another subject for another day. Plus, you know, they trying to say that TD Jakes was at the Diddy party too. So
Right, that's why I'm asking, brother. Look,
I'm gonna be honest with you.
Look.
In this time that we live in now,
anybody can be.
misinformation is more powerful than real information. It's so much misinformation out here because information now is not about being accurate. It's about who put it up first. So to be
Yeah.
honest with you, even with the whole Diddy trial, I haven't read anything on it. I don't want to read anything on it. I'm just not getting caught up in entertainment distraction because we got a bigger task going on right now. Right now, it's this 2025 project. It is the call to stand that everybody need to stand against of the government controlling households like they have been doing prior to gentrification. That's why the children are out of control. The worst thing they ever did, in my opinion, was when the government got involved into the households and told the children you can call the police on your parents. So now you have children that are out of control and the parents are scared of them. Whereas when I came up, the children were scared, and that's why we didn't do half of the things that these children are doing now. And I just went through this with my daughter at the school with this fake bullying and these young ladies who run their households who thought they were going to be intimidating. But I come from the era of I will beat my child, your child, and every other child because I refused the day where I would let a child run over me as a grown adult who has survived this life that they don't even know that they get ready to run into. So if we have any minors listening, don't be in a rush to be an adult. It's not what you think it is. It comes with more rules and more responsibilities.
Y'all heard that? Dun, 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 dun.
Yeah, I had to go through a full-on counseling session over at Thomas Jefferson. Yes. But one thing I will say on this subject, I want to give a big shout out to Thomas Jefferson High School because not only do they have counselors in place, they also have a therapy program, which is much needed in this generation because they so emotionally soft, so mentally weak that when their little feelings get hurt, the first thing they want to do is shoot the school up. See, I came up during the time I was too worried about what my parents would do to me to even think anything that crazy because my feelings is hurt. So we sat through a whole therapeutic situation, and then they had mediation, and then they had to say an oath and all of that so that it won't be no bumping each other in the hallway, talking about each other, because now they harass each other on the internet and they make chat groups to talk about each other. I mean, it's crazy, bro. It's crazy. Like, it's crazy that this is the society in which our children grow up in.
Man,
And for the parents that's not in tune and think that it is okay just to give your child a cell phone, you are an awful parent and you're doing a poor job. This is why the kids have depression. This is why the kids don't know who they are. This is why at 13 you got a boy that identifies as a girl because he doesn't know what he is. Only thing he knows is you gave me technology and you told me to go sit in the room. So now I have access to all this information that my undeveloped mind cannot comprehend, and now I'm lost. So us as the parents, we gotta do a better job, man. I'm all up in my daughter's business. I'm all up in how her mental state is, and yes, I got her set up with a therapist. And if your child shows any signs of depression or withdrawal or don't want to talk to you, it's not being a weak parent. Get them some therapy before maybe you housing the next school shooter or you come home and your child has committed suicide. That's my piece on that.
Yeah. Free Diddy. No. I'm playing. No, real talk. This is Born Hustler Radio, man. Y'all heard that? Olos he gave us the talk before we even needed to get the talk. So we got that out the way. I'm glad we did that.
I just felt like it needed to be said, man, because from what I seen over at that school, man, there's a lot of mentally ill children, but they raised by mentally ill parents. And when I mean mentally ill, how can you bring something in this world that you don't have no concern for? You just want to give them a phone and tell them get out your face.
Y'all kids gonna end up in jail.
Okay.
It's hard up there in jail nowadays. They charge $1 a day, dog.
I mean, they had a story about the dad who turned his own daughter in.
That's what it's supposed to be.
He found the arsenal of guns under his house, and he turned her in.
Look.
And he was like, it was the hardest thing he ever did, but he saved the lives of the children that went to school with her. And she had a whole plan. She was going to shoot the school up.
I don't want to get into the middle of your conversation, but I saw last night this son in Chicago, 17-year-old kid that killed his own mother.
Yeah.
In front of his father and his brother. The father picked him up from school, took him home. The son's mother called the son, and they got in an argument. The son went home and shot his mother. I think they said they found 14 shells and shot her, and he ran out the house.
See, that's
Or the 11-year-old boy who shot his mom over a VR headset, he asked her for it. She said no, but he didn't know why she said no. She had already ordered. He killed her, and then the next day it showed up to the house. See what I'm talking about?
And see, that's the problem.
But they're afraid of their children. Now, I'm not afraid of mine.
That's all right. There's places for kids like that.
I promise you this. If my child ever got to the point where they thought they would overtake me, two things going to happen. They going to the morgue, and I'm going to the jail.
Y'all got children over there?
Yeah.
Because I'm not having no child run my life.
Y'all gonna put y'all foot in y'all children's backside if they act up?
I think every parent needs needs to know what their children is up to, what's in their room.
Right.
Absolutely.
And everything until they reach an age where, you know, they're contributing to the household and person get more responsibility.
I'm 52 years old. I'm still scared of my mom.
Look.
She been gone since 2019. That tells you right there.
That's how it be.
Yeah, I'm
That's
scared.
all right, though.
Yeah, it's that's how we like
So-
Olo said. That's how we were raised. We were raised to be
Respect. Like,
yeah, respect.
I would never disrespect the teacher. It wasn't about me being afraid of the teacher. I'm afraid of what them people who I live at home with gonna do.
So,
Like, it's gonna be consequences.
ain't no bad way. Look, get that ass whooping, man.
Yeah.
That shit for real.
No, not
yo.
now. They wildin'.
They
I
scared
work.
with big kids.
I had a lady just tell me that she just recently got divorced, and her 17-year-old daughter just thought it was okay to take her car to go out with her friends, and then told her, "Well, what are you gonna do about it?"
My kid, my son today, I almost had a conniption fit today. My son went out the house with some
Pajamas on.
man. This man had on some motherfucking pajamas.
My daughter tried the same thing, came downstairs, and my wife
Pajamas.
told her absolutely not.
pajamas. I got in the car I'm like, yo, y'all get dressed. They come into the car. I'm like, you wearing pajamas to school? Yeah.
Yeah,
I like
that's part of the problem right there too, right? Because you know most of the kids these days they're spending most of their time in school, so the parents only have them for a little bit of time,
Absolutely.
and so you know the school is a whole different environment, right? You know you have kids who, you know, they might have means, so they come wearing dirty clothes. It's a lot of competition. There's a lot of you know
Absolutely.
angling at the same girl, you know, and so you talk about undeveloped kids, you know, and without guidance.
And to touch on that point, you're absolutely correct, because my introduction to criminal activity started out of necessity of not having name brand clothes. Like, I grew up in a spiritual household, and my father was like, you should be comfortable in the clothes that you in. And for some reason, he couldn't grasp the concept that the fact that I don't have the things that other children have is why I get into physical confrontation, because I'm not just going to sit there and let you keep humiliating me. So now that I'm humiliated and I don't have the things that you're praising, or that in our adolescent mind is of status, now I'm fighting. Now I'm physical, and then the school is like, oh, well, he has a behavior problem. No, I had a lack of finances problem, but that also came with us taking risks that we shouldn't have been taking, like at 11 and 12 years old selling crack. So like, it was crazy to think back now the things that we did to get the things to be accepted. And I think that's kind of like why I spoil my daughter, but I try to teach her the value, because the worst thing you can do is for someone to know the price of everything but the value of nothing.
Right.
They won't appreciate it. So like, whenever I see her get to the point where she gets entitled or take things for granted, I remind her, like, you know, life before living with your father wasn't so great. I mean, you had somebody that they only cared about getting high. They would leave you anywhere. So let us not get to the point where now that life is good, we feel that we're better than the next person, or we're taking for granted that, oh, I'll get another one, so if I destroy it, it's not a problem. So it's been like a balancing act for my wife and I, because we've been married now 9 years, but for a good 7 of those, it was just me and her. So bringing a teenager into the house, changed the dynamic, and it also opened up some things that we had to learn about this generation as far as like the preteens and the teens. So in a way, I am thankful that they're not that she's not going to the extremes that we went to, but we also are parenting a little different than my parents, because it was more like, look, we Bible, we brought you, and you deal with that. Well, I believe in giving a little bit more balance. You do what you're supposed to do, then I'll do what I can to get you the things that you want and that you say that you need.
Uh-oh. Okay. Y'all hear that? Y'all listening out there, man. It's a real deal, man. We got to be in our children's lives. We need to be nosy. If you ain't nosy with your children, then you just messed up. You should absolutely be nosy with your children. So we about to slide into this situation here. We got a couple guests. We got a few guests in here today. And I guess the energy is working out the way it need to work out.
Yeah, but you only introduced one of the three
Oh,
guests.
yeah, no, we about to get into a whole
Okay.
lot. We about to get into a whole lot. What I'm about to do first, I'm about to read y'all a little bit about our guest that we got in here. Our first guest, Path Reentry, Property Angels, Transition Homes, and Reentry. All right. Path Reentry founders Anthony Gomez and Andrea Edmonds share a connected history that spans nearly 3 decades. Born and raised in the Bronx, Anthony came to Virginia at the age 17 for a fresh start at life. However, he soon made life-altering choices that landed him behind bars, facing a lifetime of imprisonment. Andrea worked for the court system as a PO and was tasked with writing his pre-sentence report. Okay. She could not conceive that the kind young kid she encountered made these poor life-altering choices. So Andrea supported a lenient sentence, but the judge sentenced Anthony to life without parole. Oh, judge ain't like you, buddy.
That's
Oh,
what they do.
that's how
send
they
you-
do.
They send you to the people meal. That's all it is. It's a money game.
While incarcerated, Anthony worked to better himself through education, religious, and rehabilitation programs. He led the prison church, worked in the law library, and mentored the reentry community for many years. Andrea moved on from working in the judicial system and pursued a successful business career, but she never forgot the impact Anthony had on her, often sharing his story to show how easy it is for good individuals to make poor and costly choices. In 2020, and with Andrea being a key proponent for his second chance, Anthony became the first individual to be paroled after nearly 24 years. That's good. Yeah. When Virginia changed the law to provide parole eligibility to youth offenders, the two founded Path Reentry to provide housing, peer mentoring, and transitional services to returning citizens from their success and the good of their communities. All right, I want to welcome Anthony and Andrea to the show real quick. I'm gonna let y'all talk in like 2 seconds. I wanna get my brother in too, so that way we can knock out all the introductions. You feel me? We knock out all the introductions, then we can go ahead and get into the meat of this situation. Cause for the next hour we gonna chop it up and we gonna make some good stuff.
Well, you just gave the intro, so I appreciate that and the opportunity to be here. And I look forward to the conversation.
Oh yeah.
Thank you so much for
Oh
having
yeah.
us.
No doubt. And I appreciate y'all reaching out because we met y'all. They're gonna be hanging out with us at the Richmond International Film Festival this week. So that's one thing that's we're gonna talk about that later on because we gotta get to the business first. Our other guest, he's a candidate running for the 6th District City Council seat here in our town where we're from. All right, I'm trying to pull up the bio because I don't like to mess up people. You know what I'm saying, good hard work or whatever. I already jack off names, so I ain't gonna jack off the man. Accolades. Mr. Tavares Floyd. Did I get it right, sir?
You got it, man.
My man. Thank you. All right. He's running for city council because this is his community and he's ready to step up to lead our city into the next chapter by serving as a bridge builder who unites us so we can collectively help Richmond be the city you and I know she can be. Hey, that's all right right there. I like how that started off. I'm gonna get to your accolades, not just you're a lawyer. What kind of lawyer are you?
Civil rights.
Civil. Oh. What else? Look, go ahead, lay it down for me, brother. Cause like you start right there. Go ahead, go ahead, give us a little bit about you. Cause I ain't even about to try to play with the phone if I just pull you up like that. You're a lawyer, civil rights lawyer.
It's simple. I'm originally from Memphis, so
Okay.
I come from a family of civil rights activists, community advocates, in fact, elected officials. So this is kind of one of those things you either really love it or you really hate it, and I just happen to really love it.
Right.
It took a little time for me to really love it.
It's, I grew up with parents who, especially my father, gave everything to everybody. I used to have a little resentment for a little while until I realized why he did what he did and why my mother did what she did and everybody else.
Absolutely.
So I just fell right in, and here I am. In fact, I actually moved to Virginia in the Obama administration. So I came to Virginia as a special advisor to the Secretary of the USDA. And after that, did a number of things, but before that too. So I have this journey of this thing called life has been very interesting. I have not waited very long for much. I say this every day: the time waits on no man, no woman, no person. And so I've been pounding the pavement for a long time. So you said it. I'm a lawyer, small business owner. I'm a professor, community advocate. So I've done this work. I've had the honor of serving as the city council liaison also for the 6th District for nearly 5 years. So here we are at this juncture, and it's time to just amp up some things in the city of Richmond and make some good things happen for the people.
So
Appreciate you for having me.
Oh, no, I appreciate y'all for coming out. All right, so this is what we about to do, right? We got to pay the bills. Y'all already know that. We got to pay the bills because the bills got to get paid. It's just that simple. It's nothing else to that. But y'all also know what y'all can do. If y'all need some promotion, some advertisement, need any of that, just hit the message board. I be making beats and stuff too, so y'all already know y'all can get a good package deal. But hit the website, www.thetimeradio.com. We about to pay some bills real quick because we got to pay the bills, keep the lights on. And then we're going to come back and then we're going to jump into this. It's going to be a dynamic conversation.
High level conversation.
High level conversation. So y'all stay tuned, all right? All right, so appreciate y'all. Did that way so we can cut it down. You ever had this before?
Y'all can hear me?
Yeah, we got
we
the
can hear
microphone
I
in
can
here.
hear you.
No, but
You
we
probably
gonna try
can't
it.
hear because
Here you go, brother man.
What I was telling
I'm
y'all
not-
is
I'm not. You got a cup.
Yes, sir.
not to
I'm
cut
not-
you off.
You know.
What I was telling the headphones are on. The main reason to have the headphones is when we play music, so you hear the music. But if y'all just talking, the headphones really have.
I can't do the headphones.
Yeah.
As many times as I've done this,
Yeah.
they are annoying to me.
A lot of people are like that.
I think the headphones give me a vibe. So you
Right,
know,
and some people like headphones. And that's why I was telling her because I saw her struggling with the
I know,
headphones. I was
that's
like,
why. They kept
yeah,
falling off of me.
don't even. You don't have to have the headphones
I
on.
feel like
The headphones also sometimes when they do interviews, the headphones will mess with you because you'll hear yourself, and sometimes that little echo can make you go
Is
back a
that,
little bit.
can I get a shot? Can I get a shot?
What you
Just
feeling
a
like,
little-
brother man?
I don't know, whatever you got. Just
I got
a shot.
tequila over here, good sign,
Yeah,
sir.
that
I just wanna
works.
say hi,
Just a
yeah.
little shot. just a
I've
small
met
shot.
you somewhere,
Okay.
Andrew.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't-
It's how do you say
Tavares.
your
Need some ice?
Tavares.
No,
Did I
I'll
make
take
it
it straight.
through?
All right.
I'm everywhere all the
Actually,
time,
yeah,
so
actually,
but I've
yeah.
certainly met you somewhere over the years.
Okay, because I feel like they look similar too.
Where's your organization? Is it in Richmond proper?
Well, actually, we're in
Thank
right
you.
here, but we're getting ready to get our second house, which is
Okay.
in Richmond. So where's the 6th district?
I'm gonna tell you in a minute when we go live, so it can blow your mind.
Well, we live now on YouTube. They can see you right now. This is like a podcast radio station.
Oh,
So what we doing right now?
We
is
just
on
played a
YouTube.
commercial.
Yeah,
It's all good.
Yeah.
Oh, they can hear us.
They can hear us.
Yeah,
on YouTube.
everything you're doing.
Everything that we're doing is like, from when you walked in.
Yeah, this
Yeah, you was
this
on-
behind
Like
the
I probably should
scenes.
have told you. You probably should have told you that before you.
Yeah, I didn't. I did.
No,
I
he-
did not. I did not say that. I messed that up.
Cause everybody groaning.
All right, I'm about to. All right, we about to go back hot.
Camera gone.
All right, I'm about to go back hot and bring it in. We're gonna do all that conversation,
When I first came to,
and we're
you
back.
mean USDA?
all
No, the USDA.
oh, so that's in DC.
Yeah,
Okay.
Department of
right.
Agriculture.
So we sitting right here. We communicating, trying to figure out where we know each other from.
I'm certain it was somewhere in I was about to say Memphis at home in Richmond.
Okay.
I've seen you probably at any dinner or something.
Okay.
All
Yeah,
right.
you look familiar too.
Yeah.
So it's amazing that we got a candidate that's running for political office, city council, and then we have a organization that's helping to bring to help the system, help people coming out of the system come home. They trying to
Well, I think the beauty in path reentry is this: you taking a human life that was not valued by the system and meeting another human being that valued that human being, and then out of that, something beautiful came out of it that can help others.
So my question is for path re-entry, so that way is going to open up everything that we need to do. What, like the process for, what was the process for you, Anthony? Like once you got out, once you made it, you know what I'm saying, to where you got to, what was the process though before that? Because like me, I'm a convicted felon myself. So I understand like coming home and having to deal with, so if you, some people don't even have a support system to come home to. So like coming home for you, how was that for you after 24 years and getting released? How was that for you?
Oh man, where do I even begin? Well, let me just say this. You know that when I went in as a kid, um, growing up in the Bronx, it was tough. During the crack cocaine epidemic of the '80s, swept my dad off his feet. We grew up in poverty. I remember there were times we had to connect the extension cord to the lights, in the hallway for electricity and things like that. So when I came to Virginia, and I made my poor choices, impactful. I never, minimized the impact of my crime or anything like that on the community and my crime victims. So that was always humbling for me. So when I went in the system, and the judge gave me, I went in there with a life sentence as a young kid, and in the '90s, life meant life. Virginia abolished parole in 1995. And in fact, they were executing juvenile offenders. You could be executed for a crime committed that's a juvenile. And so I went in with no illusions, that, these folks aren't playing, and so I had to deal with the fact that, I was going to spend the rest of my life behind bars. And so I was determined that, I wanted to leave the legacy. If I was going to die in prison, I wanted to leave the legacy that I was sorry for my crime and that I try to make better choices. And so, I spent my time incarcerated, helping other guys, helping, improve my environment in there. The Department of Correction can be a very, stressful place. So I disconnected from society. I only knew society from watching TV. I disconnected from family and friends. Because that can bring, an added level of stress that can drive someone crazy. I mean, you're not in the streets. You're not free. You're incarcerated. You don't know if you're ever coming home. And so I didn't want to carry that burden. And so, fast forward to 2020. Well, 2019, when during that election, and the Democrats took over the state house, the top offices, and so that made it so that it was possible now that a bill that was being advanced for many years to provide parole eligibility to juveniles for it to pass. And so when that bill passed, everything happened so fast after that. I went up for parole. I got my answer. I was granted parole, and I was pushed out within months. I mean, walking out of prison, if they would have told me, "Hey, we made a mistake. You need to go back," I would have said, "Man, I knew this was too good for truth," because it was just happening so fast. But the way I did my time was that, I was fortunate to save money. I was fortunate to, be disciplined with, my thoughts, with how I spent my days, with the choices I made, the things I've learned, so I've studied law in there. I've worked in the prison law library for about 15 years, so I stayed behind that computer.
They
researching.
be smarter than us real lawyers.
That's what
Jailhouse lawyer.
That's some real stuff.
Yeah, no, that it set me off. I tell you a story about that. I was working with an attorney, Brian. Give shout out to Brian Jones, man. Brian Jones, man. He gave me my job. I met him because I helped an individual out named Brian Scott, man. Brother was fighting for his innocence, and Brian Jones took the case, and he was impressed with some of the, documents I had prepared, explaining the case and stuff, So we developed a relationship with the attorney. New attorney just got his law license, and he said, man, maybe give me a promise. You ever make it home one day, give me first day, like work for me, be my paralegal, because, he kind of felt that lawyers was going to draw me, right, pull for me. Me being humble. Yeah, me being humble, I didn't understand that, what that meant or anything like that. So when I came home, You know, he gave me a job. You know, I worked with him and set me up for my career. You know, and so I remember the first case I did for him. He gave me like 4 files from law students, and he said, "Listen, this is some of the work product. I need a petition for appeal. You know, I can't use you. Maybe you could use some of this. You know, but I really can't use the product. You know." So I drafted a petition for appeal the way an attorney would do it, and he submitted that petition for appeal almost word for word, in the Court of Appeals of Virginia overturned that conviction and released that brother. And you know,
That's good stuff.
Yeah, that was one of my powerful things.
So
Hold
what?
on. I got a quick question, brother. And again, I don't mean to cut in front of you, but your story is amazing. Sitting and listening to you talking, and thank God for you because you are clearly an inspiration to a lot of people, especially a lot of young kids that have been caught up in the system. I just have one question. What, when you were in your situation, and you committed yourself to learn law, to stay in the law library, knowing that this is it, I'm not getting out. What was your motivation of doing that? Knowing that there's nothing I can really do with this because I'm in here for the rest of my life. What was your motivation for doing that? I mean, obviously, it ended up turning around for the good for you. And again, I mean, I couldn't finish school myself, you know, and so I know how hard it is, and I won't even law school. So I know how hard it is. What was your motivation to be able to sit in there thinking, and I'm sure you might have had in the back of your mind there's a different plan for you, but sitting there knowing that there's a possibility I might not ever see the daylight. Why am I even taking the time to do this?
Man, that's a great question, and I think I went in. You know, I have to give a shout out to my friend Angel De Jesus. You know, he's another juvenile offender. He was pardoned by the governor, actually on a clemency that I drafted. We were sitting in the same cell, pen and paper. I drafted his clemency, and the governor granted his clemency 3 days before he left office. You know, really 2 days before he released him. And so, you know, he's the one. I didn't want anything to do with the law. Actually, like I was studying early on. You know, when I came in, you know, just because I wanted to understand my situation. I wanted to understand the process of what happened to me, you know, and what options were available to the court, you know, how I ended up with a life sentence. Which, you know, I accepted, you know, I accept the punishment of my crime, I accept the responsibility, but I needed to understand, and also it was a motivation for me to help other individuals come to terms with their situation, right? And so I didn't want the job, and Angel pushed me. He said, "Man, listen, there's an opening. You need to get that job because, you know how to talk to guys. Guys come to you, ask you questions all the time. Like, they need you in that law library." And, you know, anybody knows anything about prison law library is that they don't want young guys working in there. And at the time, I was like 23, 24 years old. That's a young cat. You know, my first experience in the law library was with old heads wearing, you know, they had books stacked next to them with typewriters, you know, no nonsense. You know, you don't go in there making noise. You know, they ain't had time for that foolishness. So when I got the job in the law library, I remember thinking, wow, you know, what I got myself into here. And then some of those old heads that I saw that I was intimidated by, I realized that they were just folks just like me. Everybody was just trying to find a way out, trying to get a second chance, trying to understand their situation. And so for me, it was more of a service. I didn't go in there for me to fight my case. I went in there for me to understand my case and see how I could help other individuals. And, you know, for 14 years, I did that. You know, I helped individuals understand their cases, where I saw that they were at a dead end. You know, I mean, there's not an out for everybody. Courts aren't overturning cases, you know. So, you know, my first passion is always the Lord. You know, I went in, you know, I grabbed the Bible and I never put it down. And that was what I wanted to study. That's what I wanted to understand. I wanted to understand why I revered it, why I feared it, and all. And so, you know, I found a lot of peace in it. I found a lot of guidance. I found that there's not a situation on this earth that you can't get some kind of counsel in the Bible from. So the law library also served as a way for me to bridge that connection, you know, with helping individuals who, you know, they made bad choices just like me in their life. They find themselves, you know, in prison with a lifetime ahead of them. And, you know, I wanted to give them hope, you know, and say, you know what, even if in this life there's no hope, and, you know, this black and white law here, you know, says that, you know, there's no avenue for us, there's nothing impossible with God. You always have to have hope. And so that it became a sort of a ministry for me. Where I was able to help guys, I helped them. But where I ran into individuals where I couldn't help with the law, I encourage them.
Y'all better pass the offering plate.
I got a follow up, brother, because
Look.
I'm really respecting you right now a great deal. No one wants to be put in the situation you were put. Or I see you take responsibility. No one wants to put themselves in the situation you put yourself in. Do you think that because you were strong enough to go through it, because obviously you're here, obviously you are a better man now, not knowing who you were back then, so I'm not saying that, but you're a better man now because you were strong enough to do that. Do you think? Now I know you regret your decisions that got you there, but do you think honestly that you regret the path that you took, because it created this man that I'm seeing in front of me, which is I respect. In just meeting you, I respect a great deal. I don't think many people could do what I'm basically saying. I don't think many people had the strength to do what you've done. Do you think that you were chosen because you're in the Bible, because you get your faith through the book and the Word? Do you think you were chosen because you were strong enough to do this?
It's like Job.
I wholeheartedly believe that because I put my faith in him, he didn't let me down.
Okay.
Like, because I put everything in the scripture and say, I'm going to commit this to you. And that to the one who can open those doors for me. I never forget that first heavy steel door that shut behind me. You hear that certain clank and you be like, oh, so, like that door's not just, I'm just not going to walk
Get
out
them
that door,
bracelets
right?
put on the wrist, bro.
Like
The first time you get them bracelets put on the wrist,
and
bro.
you feel the strength of that. That's when you realize that it's going to take a miracle, right? That those things are not just going to fall out. That door's not going to open. You're just not going to walk out of it. And just to kind of circle back to your question, about path reentry. Being in there, I committed my life to service. I could have said, I didn't want anything to do with the guy, because to be honest, man, listening to the DOC and anybody in the Department of Corrections will tell you this, but the guys with the shortest time are the worst, man, because they carry the attitude that hey, I'm coming home, there's nothing you can do, so if they gang banging, they're gonna gang bang, and whatever they're gonna want to do in there, they're gonna do. They'll wear the charges, they'll go to the hole, they'll do, they know they're going home, they know that door's going to open, and they're going to walk out. So when, an individual like me, and shout out to all the mentors, who got serving life sentences, who put themselves on the line, we were literally taking shanks out of dudes' hands, thinking for them, they'll come around like, man, I appreciate that, man, because, I was really going to hurt this dude. And sometimes, you have to think for them. We'd be like, bro, you going home. Like, what is he doing? Because it's easy when you in that circle, to mess up your life. So nobody who is doing serious time wants to, people just want to be at peace. They think because you have a life sentence, you got nothing to lose. You already lost everything. So the little bit you have, you want to maintain it. You're not trying to lose that. So you don't want to be in an environment where, there's going to be chaos and those type of things. So it's a sacrifice. And so, I felt in my heart that I was called for that sacrifice, to play a part in it, because I had something to contribute beyond, stopping someone, from making a poor decision. I wanted not just to stop them, but I wanted to show them, I was living vicariously through these guys, so I wanted to share with them, how I see life now, the choices that I will make now if I was in the same situation you was in. So when I came home, I hit the ground running. I've been home. I just celebrated my 4th year free, and since I've been home, I bought home 2 years ago. All my vehicles are paid off. I have a great job in telecommunications, which is my full-time job. Anything about the internet. When I went in, they had 2-way pages and Motorola flip phones. now I'm dealing with broadband build-out, infrastructure, and things like that. And so there's a lot of, I felt that I was young, and I didn't want to limit my potential. So I did what I could have been. I knew that I wasn't gonna be that anymore, but I saw a different road in the tough road that was ahead of me that I wanted to make the most out of as well.
But can I say this to that point too? One of the things that I just heard you say, which is so important to me, is now whatever your experience and your journey is, that's your journey, right? We all have whatever our walk of life is. But what I heard you say was you really tapped into who you really were, and you were able to live a life on purpose. And that's deep, because I say this often. Most people will die not having lived life to its fullest extent, because they will never tap into who they are completely.
Oh yeah.
And when you know who you are all the way, you can live a life on purpose. It's just like 100, 300% you every single day. And the beautiful thing about your story, though, is it makes you relatable to people. And when you can relate to people and give them something that they can feel, that gives a different perspective to life. And it's just a different interaction. You interface in a different way. And that's what I try to do in life. And so it's a beautiful thing. So we appreciate you telling your story, though, for real.
So, with that, like, real quick, because I want to slide into
Yep.
how all this, how all us sitting here, how this makes sense for real. So, all the work that you've been doing since you've been home, you hooked up with Andrea, and as a PO, now I'm because got to get you in here, Miss PO. We got to get your 2 cents in here. How was, like, when you decided to stop being a PO? What made you decide to stop being a PO? To get into what you're doing.
Well, let me back up. I mean, when I stopped being a PO was years ago, and I went into I started as private business. I had a whole other life in between when I stopped being a PO and when I got back into the role that I am now.
Right.
My heart has always been in social justice. My heart has always been in helping the next person. It's always been there. So I ran a very successful business for several years, and Anthony and I kept up with one another over all those years. But I got married, had children, I was married, then had a whole life, whole career, but I always kept up with Anthony through a mutual friend, and his juvenile PO and the chaplain that he met. I have to give a shout out that they met him in 1997, stood by him those entire 24 years, and continued to go see him.
Because they saw what we all seeing right now.
Yeah.
It's a great thing.
And I knew it too.
Yeah.
I wasn't in I wasn't as active in those 24
Right.
years. But it was interesting that God came into the picture in 2019, in November 2019. I would always run into the person I'm speaking about, is Gina, always run into her. At this point, I had sold the company that I was with, gotten out of that, and was working in some foster care, just with a friend running a nonprofit. So I was doing that for a little bit, not really sure what I'm kind of getting back into some social justice things. And anyway, ran into Gina, and Anthony's doing this, and blah, 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 blah. Never before I'd run into Gina did I think to, send him a letter or check on him. Never before. But for some reason, this November of 2019, I sent him a letter. And so learned where he was, learned about the law that was getting ready to be passed. And so that's how I kind of got back in it, Albie. So getting involved with Anthony and speaking, talking to him, so I escorted him, not escorted, I was there the day he walked in prison, and then I was so fortunate. It was just a blessing that I was there the day he came home and was able to walk, be there when he came outside the gates. So
Yeah, that's real
So
shit
we've
right there.
been kind of like tied at the hip since, and kind of organically he was already mentoring guys, and then so he starts working, and he's like, Andrea, I can't do this, I need you, can you do this? And so it just kind of happened,
I would get so many phone calls every day,
so I became the secretary.
And so I was like, hey, hold on, I want to introduce you to my friend Andrea, and she, taught, and it was also a way for the guys in there, because the guys that were calling me, these are all lifers, and some of them, they go off for parole. Some of them, so it was a way, to get them connected with, folks like her, because she's great, you see her, she talks to folks, she engages them in conversation, and it really uplifted these guys, and it got to the point, where we will help people, guys would ask for resources, guys would be like I'm coming home, I'm going to this area, and, we were connecting them with resources, and so we were already in the conversation about how can we make this a little bit more organized, like a
But we
nonprofit,
didn't-
something, you know?
But we didn't set out to do that. We were just
Yeah.
organically doing it. And
Exactly.
a woman who was was running a nonprofit, had some family issues, and saw the work that the two of us were doing, and she knew you from coming into, going into DOC and teaching. Anyway, she said, "I want to turn this over to you guys. You guys are doing the work, and I want to support you. I can't do it anymore." So that's how it happened.
You know that's not by happenstance, right?
Right. That's
No,
what I
it's
was
hard
sitting there
That's the
thinking.
way it goes.
Like, I'm the emotional one of the two of us. I talk a lot. I always say Anthony's the pretty face, and I am the worker. He's the pretty. I mean, he's the story, and he's like all. I just literally when I met him, I'm like, "You have to meet Anthony. You have to meet Anthony," and that's I'm his biggest cheerleader out here. And then together,
We're just walking through doors that got open. That's another thing we talked about, you know, that because you know we have these conversations and we have these things, you know, these dreams, you know, these ideas and stuff like that, and then
like, how
you know,
can we do it? How can we do it?
and then we
Like-
just say, you know what? If the door opens for us to do something, we'll walk through the door. If the door doesn't open, we're not gonna force nothing through. And following that principle, that's how we have a transition home now. We have a store that supports a transition home.
And those are the parts right there that I'm glad y'all slid right into there, because that's where I was about to say, like, so you got the homes and the store. And it's the Path Electric, is that a part of
Path Eclectic.
Path Eclectic? Okay.
We didn't come up with that name. One of our marketing geniuses did. Shout out.
So
to
that's
them.
the homes. Let's talk about that, cause on Born Hustler, we talk about everything. So it's like, for y'all hustler, y'all listening in on this conversation right now, we've been real good today. So we got to slide in some BS real quick.
For example, like
It never fails.
Yeah, we got to slide in some
Hit us
BS.
with it. Hit us with it.
so for like the service that y'all provide on Path Reentry, for me it was personal. For me, even talking to Andrea at the gala we met at, because I have two cousins that went away as teenagers. They done did over 30 years. They done did their 20s, their 30s, their 40s. They coming home in their 50s. And it's crazy because my older cousin, Dad gave him so much time for a drug charge. They thought he was never coming home. And then one day, after 10 years lay on his back, they just called him upstairs and was like, "Yo, call somebody that loves you. You going home tomorrow." No halfway house, no program, no nothing. And for those listening, if you haven't ever received your loved ones home after that, it is a transition. Like, I'll never forget when we first reconnected, he was like, "Hey, I need you to go upstairs and go in the top drawer and give me some deodorant." Now, you may say to yourself, "Well, what would be odd about this situation?" Well, when I go upstairs in his room and I open the drawer, his drawer is situated like a Foot Locker. Those 10 years, he didn't even realize he was now institutionalized.
Stage drug.
I was like, "Why do you got 6 bars of soap, 6 things of deodorant?" I was like, "Cuz you can go to the store and get more as you need." And he was like, I didn't even think about it. He was like, "I was so used to ordering off a commissary, and you need to stock up. So what if one day you go to order, you can't get deodorant?"
I mean, to that defense, I do that.
See, I told y'all we had to bring that bullshit in. I told y'all.
I just, on the way here, we stopped by our house to do something. In his trunk, I found 2 bars of soap. I'm like, what is he doing? I pulled the soap out and I'm giving it to the guys in case they needed it.
You take my soap away?
I did.
See, this is what I'm talking
Now
about.
you know.
I'm like, what is going on? Yeah, they do that all the time.
All right, so here go a question, real quick, because we got to get into our politics as usual, into our politics as usual, because we're gonna tie all this together. How reentry, how the work that y'all doing, how it affects the community, and how it's helping the community. Because I remember, because we was talking, and once again we met at the gala. We had the kickoff for the Richmond International Film Festival that's coming up 24th through the 29th. And I'm going to be outside. Born Hustler, we're going to be outside. Big Time Radio Network, we're going to be outside. But we met, and my boss lady, Heather, she said, "Hey, Al B, I want you to meet." And just put us together. So we did have a big conversation. So what had happened was, I just messed up the whole game. But what had happened was, said something about the houses, and you was talking about how they paid, what, the hotels.
So,
There we go. You know what I'm
all right,
talking
yeah,
about.
let me get you. Okay, so we were not financially ready to open a house.
Yeah.
Anthony is. When he says he saved money in prison, that's because he would take a thing of oodles or whatever ramen noodles, and he would use a pack. I mean,
In fact, you said whatever. Everybody else in this room was like, what?
is my dear friend, but he is I mean, he does not spend money. So when I said, Anthony, you know, we need to get a house. No, he did not want to do anything. He didn't want to get a house. I'm like, so
That's why he paid his cars off already. Not such a bad thing.
Because one day I can tell you
So-
from being incarcerated, when you don't know where your next dollar come from, you'll learn to save a dollar. I mean, I can
So-
stretch $20 a month.
Look, quick,
so
fast, and in
we
a
got a
hurry.
call from DOC about a gentleman by the name of Charles, and I'll give a shout out. He's our poster child. You're going to meet him on Sunday. He's coming with me Sunday.
Uh-oh.
And that said, Charles had been incarcerated for 48 years. He had just been released in February. They had
Said
put him in
48?
a great hotel
48 years since he was 16
because he
years
got
old.
lost. He was lost in this.
Oh,
he
yeah,
was a
that's
poor
that's
black
crazy.
kid in the projects. And he was forgotten about. He was forgotten about. And clearly was forgotten about. And so I went, you know, of course, Anthony calls. I'm working, Andrea, can you get over there? So I go over there and take him some food. We take a box of food. We go get some clothes. And next thing I know, I mean, we're Charles's family. And his PO's giving him a hard time. He was at the Super 8 hotel, and they were threatening to violate him if he didn't find a place to live. And then they were going to put him in. That man had never had a drink, drugs. I think Anthony gave him his first beer at a restaurant one night. I mean, he's 62 years old now. Never drank. They were going to put him in a recovery house over on Chamberlain in a not good area that he was scared to death when he heard where he was going.
Chamberlain, yeah.
We already know.
And
Everybody
And
shaking
so-
their head.
Bad deal.
We had just signed a lease on a building that was going to help us raise the money for the house, but we were nowhere close to getting a house. I was walking on over in Highland Springs, in the area close where we are, and I see a for rent sign, and I was like, I'm going to call it. I call it. The person that answers the phone is somebody that dated my daughter in college, and it's like, what? The phone number.
You dating my
rang up. I knew
daughter?
the guy.
These are those
My
boys
God.
that-
That's divine.
Yes,
That's
and
divine.
so told him the story. He waived he's like, oh, I'm just gonna let you guys go in. You don't have to do a deposit. It's like, Anthony. I was like, oh, God. I'm always like, I've got my foot on the gas. He's got his foot on the brakes.
I'm
like,
over here signing these leases. I'm like,
he has no idea what he's doing.
No, he know he a lawyer.
So we
Unofficially.
put Charles in the house for 2 months. So I thought, okay, they're gonna give us a little bit of money. They're paying $5.79 a week at this hotel. The PO office is paying $5.79 a week at this hotel, and they've got like 12 guys at the hotel. I'm like, we're doing a good thing. They're going to give us a little bit of money. Ask me how much money they've given us. I told the guys 0. We get the house. We covered the house, the two of us, for 2 months. Just Charles. It was
just so that he can have a place, and not just a place, but also an environment, right? Because we provide an environment. When we talk to him, we can relate, right? He already knows. Okay, I did 24 years, so I know what he's been through. He know what I've been through. Andrea and the lady. Shout out to the ladies, Leslie, and them at the store. Who through their good heart, they took him to get his ID, his social security
the
card,
nice thing is the house
his
is 2
identity,
blocks behind the
basically.
store, or the house is just right. He
Right
can
behind the
walk
store.
back and forth.
So he's hanging out in the store. He's hanging out with us. And so we this is how it started, right? We went for months with a house that had a capacity of 6 bed space, where it was only Charles staying in it.
And with no money.
With no money, and we
So,
wasn't
but-
not to make any money with this. We just want, housing right now. There's a housing crisis in the country. Right?
Serious. No, that look,
But I have
it's
to
serious.
say, G, every month, and I don't even tell him. I don't even tell him how slim we're running, because Luckily, he hasn't even been able to get into the checking account until I probably should.
Is it probably a good idea to tell him now, though?
We
I mean,
and
I
this is
feel
the
safe.
part.
I told him about this.
No, the stark reality of this is that, and I just had a conversation the other day. I had a meeting with the Machine Foundation.
Yeah, I'm
and
familiar with him.
let me tell you, the stark reality is that there are so many. And I've been dealing with this for so many years in Richmond. There are so many organizations that are boots on the ground, grassroots, that are doing the real work, but they are not getting funded. And people have prioritized their funding
Okay, now I'm getting.
in places that really don't make sense. But the people that are doing it actually, and I'm like, guys, that's where we need to put the money
That's
in.
where
Let me say something.
And the biggest challenge for a
Open up the
nonprofit, and I've been in the
Coliseum, help the
nonprofit world, all
homeless
that,
out
is
too.
always the money, right?
Help
It
the
We
takes,
have
homeless
not
out.
received one penny from anyone except a few friends right now. I just put up a link because I'm like, we
But
had to
we
ask
want
for.
to give a shout out to OAR too, right? Because there's an organization, and I don't know what the acronym is right now at the top of my head.
It used to be
but-
Offender Aid Restoration.
Offender. Yep, that's
Yeah.
what it is.
Is it still
You know,
Offender Aid
but
Restoration?
Yeah, my
Yeah.
brother, he goes there. He's
They
been
are
home
amazing.
6
Those
months
people are
now for
amazing.
10
Yeah.
years.
I mean, they deal with some tough cases.
They done
and
stepped up a lot.
And they do step up, to help organizations like ours, when we're dealing with someone that's on their caseload. But it's like very few. Like, they're stretched so thin right now, that there's resources and they're just not being channeled, like you said, to the boots on the ground.
well,
to
because
the work.
people, you're as a nonprofit, I mean, an NGO, you're gonna be, you have so much overhead. You're worrying about this. I mean, if you're over the organization, your biggest job is bringing in money, right?
But we don't have time for that first. Let me just.
I
so
got
when
you.
you talk to McShin, and McShin Foundation does an amazing job. They've been around for a long time, and John Shinholzer's a wonderful person. They've been around for a long time. But that's recovery. They get opioid money. They get money from the opioid. Whatever.
They ain't getting. We just had that conversation too.
Okay, well, they
It ain't
were.
coming in.
Well, it used to, but they also get, and they can get Medicaid funds.
Yeah.
Ask me how much money's out there for reentry. There's
Yeah.
no money for reentry.
Well,
There's no money.
but this is why these conversations are important because
Right.
I mean, this is like,
Yeah.
it's a reciprocal relationship, right?
It slides
So
into
I
the
know what the challenges are. I know the city, I know the region. You have to connect, and we want you to connect with municipalities, whatever. Just for instance, like the city of Richmond has something that's called non-departmental grants.
Yes,
Yeah,
Heather told me about that. Yeah. Just
And we want to get you plugged in. We want to get you plugged in because, I mean, this is the stuff that's like a breath of fresh air to me because it's not like piecemealing thing and it's not window dressing. We can measure the impact that you guys are having
Oh,
on
I can
people.
show you the bills that we pay,
Oh,
what we do.
I have no doubt.
I'm driving these guys. I'm getting set up. They're getting set up with. I take Charles to. He's going to VCU Massey Cancer Center. He came home with stage 4 cancer. I take him regularly. I give him shots regularly.
Yeah.
I take him to trying to get him a job. OAR, like Anthony said, is amazing. Their help, because he's never going to be. I shouldn't say never. He's not going to be able to work a full-time job. We're trying to find him something part-time that he can do. But health-wise, he's 62.
And he shouldn't have to, man. This kid, when he went in as a kid.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I know guys who committed worse crimes than he's committed and served less than half the time. So it's like there's also something to be said about second chances and disproportionate sentences. And giving people, just a fair chance.
Well, speaking on fair chances, me as a convicted felon, I can tell you there's no such thing. Once you do your time, you still pay for the crime.
Like a
Well,
mother.
I literally
like a
went to
motherfucker.
jail trying to find a job to pay the child support that was allocated while I was incarcerated for 5 ounces of marijuana, and it was like, okay, yeah, you can go home today with this F. And at the time, I didn't know that it would negate my whole work history. Now, I'm a military vet. I went to college. I'm educated. I'm well spoken. I'm not socially awkward. And the only thing they saw was an F on my record, denied me employment, took me back to court to lock me up for non-payment of child support. Luckily, the judge took sympathy on this situation and was like, well, the breakage I see in payment is when he's incarcerated or doesn't have a job. But unfortunately, because all of this back interest, I gotta lock him up for some time. They wanted to lock me up for a whole year. And this is so crazy. that now, because they found a way to tax it, marijuana is now decriminalized. But yet, when I originally caught the case, I was fighting 25 to life, and yes, it was a big amount of marijuana, because what is a man gonna do that got children that can't get a job?
Yeah.
He gonna do what he take to take care of his kids, because not only does he have to take care of the child, in my situation, he gotta listen to the woman he had kids with that now does not value him, because the government say you don't gotta value him,
See, that's
because
the
we're gonna
problem.
give you assistance, and if he comes back in your home, we're gonna take your assistance.
Absolutely.
So no more value for the father. The only thing he is a number and a check. And then if you can't get the check, I actually had the lady at the child support place tell me, well, I guess you're going to go back to selling drugs. But these are the people that are out here working in public service that shouldn't be out here. Like, one of the biggest things, and I can tell you why you're not getting funded, because City Hall messed up. And that's on the news right now.
Hey, what
how
is
they
it?
got
Every
under
day, right?
Hey, what
how they got underqualified
63
people
million at?
handling
It
money.
was like 63 million for the homeless people.
Man, they
Like,
found out that people was embezzling $4 million, going on vacations.
giving out gift cards,
Y'all got to play
1,000.
more music at the hand clap.
Look, we got you. We got you. We
And
got
then
you.
it's so crazy that if you,
you can
really,
hear it right in here.
if you really know your case law, you know that no one should ever be incarcerated for child support, because it goes against federal law to incarcerate someone for a civil debt. But because they don't want to deal with it, they leave it up to the state, and nobody's watching the state. You have all of these fathers that end up in there for that. So you take away their jobs. So then they come home and then they say, okay, I'm not getting no respect at home. I want to fix this. They make a decision to commit a crime, and then they go over the citizen guideline, because why wouldn't I send you to my warehouse so I can make money off of you? Not once, but like 3 times. You're going to get paid from the state, paid from me, and if I got cases in other jurisdictions, they fighting to keep the body. I mean, I've actually witnessed the state of Virginia fighting to keep a person they know have a federal case, because they are now receiving federal money for housing this inmate. Or like Virginia, you'll do federal time, and then after you did all your federal time, now we're going to bring you back to Virginia so you can do state time. But we want to be talking about what P. Diddy did, like I care, when we need to be talking about who's watching these people who are destroying our families, enslaving the head of the household, because history has taught you one thing.
I think we got a new
Women
candidate
will
running,
conform
y'all.
to take care of their children, whereas
got
the
a new
men will
candidate
push
running,
against the
y'all.
propaganda that has been pushed
Election
on
time
us.
is coming, y'all.
Well, but the deal to that is, and you're right, is really that the system that's supposed to work for you is the same system that works against you. That's really what fucked up shit comes
Yeah, it's a
from.
cash for body
Yeah.
system.
You got that right.
Yep.
And so, I want to go back to something you said, Andrea.
Hold, real quick, sir.
Yeah.
I just want to slide this in.
Put a pin in it.
Yeah,
Okay.
we're going to slide this in. We want to appreciate y'all for coming. We transition as y'all can understand. Y'all that's listening out there, I need y'all to continue to tune in and lock in with us, because now we transitioning into our favorite part of the program. This is your program, sir. This is your time.
Politics is
It's
usual.
politics as usual. And see, my brother, he just set it off. My brother Olos just set it off with all, y'all heard him. And it's politics as usual. So now we got reentry houses. They can't get no money. We got people doing God's good work, helping people, can't get no money. But what you say, they can pay who? Super 8? You can pay the Super 8, Motel 6.
And that probably didn't even come from the city.
You see
That
what I'm
probably
saying?
came from Henrico or something.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It comes
exactly.
from the offices.
And-
It came from the district offices.
And now
Yeah,
this
yeah,
slides
but
into the number one part of this whole situation. And here my guest here, Brother Tavares Floyd, he's a candidate for the 6th district here where we live at. So this is my issue with the government. One, you my brother. I appreciate you being here.
Yeah, man.
I lean more to the conservative, but I ain't gonna hold that against you.
No, man. What you got to say?
I ain't gonna hold that against you. We need new people in here. We need new people in office that's gonna actually do something. Now you running for who? Who's that? Ellen
I'm
Robinson.
not running for
I'm-
anybody.
I'm
I
saying-
ain't running for nothing. It's
I'm
an
saying
open
you
seat.
taking.
It's an open seat.
So
I don't
so
do
that's
that.
an open seat.
It is. It's an open.
So
Your
who's
seat.
You don't run against. You don't
who's
run
in
against
who's
a
in this
person.
seat over there?
I don't know. Did you do your homework?
'Cause last time I thought it was like
Some names are unspoken.
no because we
Matter,
deal
too. These are
no
the
because we
local
deal
ones.
like with the 6th district.
It is her.
But
Yeah, that's
but
why.
for real, it's not. I'm not running an election against a
Yeah.
person. I'm running for an
Right.
open seat off of values and principles
Exactly,
that people.
Now my thing with that, cause like she been in that seat for a minute. Like she been like
But you know why, right?
politics as usual.
Nah, because we live under ideology. The only thing we got to do is vote a president in.
You see what I'm saying? And then we got a brother in here
When
that's
you
trying
should,
to.
when I hope y'all paying attention out here. These are the people you need to make sure that you look up and vote on because these are the people that
Exactly.
directly affect your
Every day.
community.
Exactly.
Every
So
day
y'all
life.
can stop blaming the president who really has no power.
Your federal, and I've worked on all levels, federal, state, local. Your federal issues barely trickle down to local. Let me tell you something. The
Y'all
most
hear it?
difficult I've worked multiple things in these on each one of these levels, forms of government. The most complex is local. Because local literally involves everything about your livelihood. Nobody calls a congressperson. Nobody calls the president.
They
Nobody
don't
calls the state person to say, I need food for my children. Nobody calls any of them to say, my tires are screwed up because I went over, a big hole in the street. Nobody calls any of them to say, lower my personal property tax. Nobody calls them to say, my kids start school next week, but I don't have school supplies. Nobody calls them for any of those things. Those are all local issues.
Yep.
And people sometimes go on those ballots and they stop before they get to the local
Right.
stuff.
So what made you want to get in this situation here?
Well, I've just done this anyway. I mean, my whole background is political.
I like that.
I mean, but this is serious stuff to me. When I say this is serious to me, this is so serious to me because these very conversations like we're having tonight, where I've been in these spaces, where none of these other people have been boots on the ground, none
You're
of these
right
other
about
people
that.
have sat in the rooms to talk to people, to see what they're going through, any of that stuff. That's why it's so familiar when you will tell me that I did this for this person and that person. Same experience for me. I take this so seriously. When you hold the livelihood of somebody in the palm of your hands, I'm the person who visit everybody in ICU, at the hospital, the nursing home, all of my residents. I'm the person who never missed a funeral for anybody that died in my district. I'm the person who, if you ain't got your prescription money, I'm going to get your prescription money because, like you said earlier, I got a choice to make sometimes, and this is not to justify things, but because of the very system that we've been talking about all evening, is the same system that has put a lot of people in the predicaments that they're in. And so, guess what? There are some people who have to make a choice between getting Big Mama her blood pressure medicine, because she's the matriarch of the family.
Yeah.
And she cooked the meals for us, and she make them stretch all week, But if not for her, then we wouldn't be doing much.
I need Mama to
So
cook them greens.
am I going to pick between her dying and me not having $25 to go get her prescription? Do I break in your car and take your change in your console? Perhaps. Because I can't go get a job anywhere. I can't go to any organizations, anything, because y'all done wrote me off.
And I need Big Mama Greens, man.
But by the,
I need
Well,
Big Mama
me
Greens.
off.
one thing I would like to say though, but by design, I've noticed that
It's intentional.
media will promote the garbage, but we'll put the real issues on public access after midnight.
Yeah,
When the average blue collar worker gotta be asleep.
yeah,
Cause I
Yeah.
can't speak for them, but I'm up at 4 a.m. to get ready for work.
yeah.
So after midnight is a no-go. By 10 o'clock, I'm asleep. So if you put on my local representatives after 12 and on public access, which is one of the worst channels, because the whole channel just got feedback. So how long you gonna sit there to listen to what they gotta say when it sounds like somebody yelling down the hallway with a fan on? You know what I mean?
I mean,
But by design, I feel like they do that so you don't tune in.
a lot of things. To that point, you're talking about, How many people can park at City Hall for a city council meeting?
Exactly.
Almost none.
Exactly.
How,
that
how
part.
many disabled people can find a parking spot to mosey into City Hall? Practically nobody.
Absolutely.
How many people can attend a city council committee meeting where the decisions are being made before they come to a regular council meeting in the middle of a day when a working class person cannot afford to come down in the middle of a day?
And
Lord.
it's set like that by design.
That is intentional.
Man, you got my vote already, man. I ain't even in
Yeah.
6th district. I'm ready to go down here and vote. Oh, disclaimer: early voting is in effect.
It's
Wherever
already
you at,
started.
check your location. Wherever you at, all across the world, you hear me. Local early voting is in effect. It's already going on. So you need to go down there to your neighborhood area. Go to the city hall, city council. Get the information. Yo, what I
Well,
got
you
to do
have
to
go
vote.
you have to go to Laburnum. Location is the only location open right now.
Oh.
October
On
7th.
9 Mile. Okay.
Oh yeah. So
on the registrar's office on Laburnum.
so those of y'all that just heard that, that's in our locale. Y'all got to go down to Laburnum.
The rest of them will open on October 7th. But let me answer your question about why I chose to do this, because it's a little deeper than that.
Oh yeah.
So I'm gonna go back to my roots, being from Memphis and coming from a civil rights family. My grandfather brought Dr. King to Memphis
Mm.
for the worker sanitation strike, and so Dr. King preached his last sermon in our family church.
Mm.
So I can relate to many of these conversations about God and all that stuff. I'm a PK.
Me
So
too.
my dad, grandfather, great grandfather, uncles, whatever you name it.
My son is a
Preachers.
preacher.
So it's kind of deep for me because, and kind of, I'm a little dismayed and disappointed too because I'm come from the old school church.
Me too.
So black
Yeah.
church is not what black church used to be, because black church
Mm-hmm.
used to be the avenue by which it was the number one institution in the African American community. So
Absolutely.
Wow.
you led forward every social activism issue that there was in the community, and we don't do that anymore.
Oh
Now-
Lord.
Now
Preach,
what
Lord.
we're dealing with is preachers, especially in Richmond,
Oh.
who are stuck in classism,
Mm.
and they trying to one up the next.
Mhm.
And you get a car, I get one better than you.
And it's funny
you
that-
get a house, I get one bigger than yours.
And I
Oh,
know
yeah.
that to be true because
It's
I
true.
came up under Lance Watson when it only had 27 members on Marshall Street. And I remember, because my father is also a bishop, I remember him getting threats from other preachers.
Yeah,
You still in my folk.
yeah,
Red nigga, where you come from? Go back to Detroit.
yeah.
Mm.
You think you going to be the next TD Jakes here?
Mm.
Well, because Richmond
It's
has
real out
systems, and Richmond has had systems for a long time, which
Yep.
is why I'm a little unconventional. Not a little, a lot.
Yeah.
Ooh.
So, let me tell you something. I'm probably the least likely person to have been in City Hall as long as I was,
Right.
because I went against the grain for every damn thing. And
That's probably why you're successful there.
but
That's
let me
what we need.
and it is. But let me
That's
tell you,
right.
that was a battle.
I
And
know
a
it
battle
is.
that most days I had to fight by myself. And that gets taxing,
Yeah.
And so we have to let people know how we pound the pavement, and we got to let people know the truth, and we have to expose things. Now, I've been doing that for a long time now. They don't want to hear me say it because they want me to be that status quo person.
Yeah.
They told, as a matter of fact, they told me when I was at City Hall, we don't understand why you do so much for poor black folk.
Right.
And why
Ooh,
you
why-
so
why
concerned
not?
about poor black folk.
Because
They literally told me that.
yes, because everything with them is
They
transactional.
told me that.
If it don't benefit
So,
them in the end.
so-
Well, and the
so
big
your
white
word-
churches too, the big white churches, the mega churches. But I will tell you this: I'm going to give a shout out to a small black church in Whitcomb Court, which is where Sylvia
Pilgrim Baptist.
Pilgrim
Pilgrim
Baptist.
Baptist.
Yeah.
I will
Shout
give
out to
a
Pilgrim
I know about
Baptist
this.
Church. Shout out to Baptist. Look, he know his district.
Because Sylvia, Albie's a cousin aunt or something, we didn't even realize that until just recently, came
I
into
saw a
our
picture of
store,
my cousin. in the
invited
store.
me to
Who
bring
is
the guys
Sylvia?
out.
It's Sylvia Giles. What's Sylvia? I don't know. Don't worry.
I don't
Don't
remember
worry.
her last
I'm
name.
listening.
I can't.
You
She
might
lives
know.
in Wickham.
No, she don't live in
okay.
Wickham.
No, but she goes to that church and invited me to bring the guys out. It was for a Saturday event, and so we went out there and they gave them bags and gift cards and
These are the
everything. And
guys in the house.
I took the guys in the house. We had, at the time, I think I had 4 guys in the house. Different guys. We got there, so we invited us to church. So Charles has been going to church, the one in our house that came up for 48 years. And Sylvia's like, "What do you need, Andrea? What do you need?" I'm like, "Actually, we need towels and I needed linens." I've told many people, no one's really asked, what do we need? Sylvia, do you know, within a week, came to the store with a handful, and not even, I mean, I was ready, I just wanted, used was fine with me. That church, that small, tiny church was, when we went recently, like 30 people in the church.
Not even, man. I
Not
think
even
it was
that.
like
And
most
they
of them were in the
brought
choir.
a stack of sheets and towels. I'm like, so there are some good
Well,
people
because
doing
those
good-
small churches
are still,
really understand community.
And know what it
Yeah,
is.
they
haven't
And know
been
what it
bitten
is.
by the bug.
Yeah, they family.
Yeah.
So
It's
And
family.
they probably
I
at
mean,
no
because
point wanted you to blast. Make sure you tell everybody we did this. Now we have some churches in the area, and I don't want to get in, especially when I say in the area because I'm talking around the corner. We have some churches in the area that if they did that, they would want you to
Oh,
make
yeah,
sure
yeah,
you
yeah.
tell everybody we did this.
will you give us a shout out on your
And
social
it's
media
for some,
page?
and that's really you're asking for a simple thing, and I have a problem with that too.
Yeah, I do.
Especially with black churches, because let me tell you something. If you get in a situation for most black folks, the black church ain't gonna be there to rescue you. You may show up and they're gonna give you a can of sweet peas and sweet corn
That.
and
see,
tell you to come to Bible study in church.
and see
And
that's
that's a wrap.
that's
Not
one of the
Pilgrim.
things.
And that's not, but that's not fair because the Bible says that your tithes and black folk pay their tithe money.
Mhm.
And the black church in the United States of America take in
See the
$4 billion a year in tithes money.
That's why we call Sunday the $1
But
million
we don't
hour.
pour it back into the community. We can't
And
find
see,
that.
that's
Y'all
the
don't get
part-
that sweet peas and sweet corn.
Well, I'm gonna be
Yeah.
honest with you. If
God
you,
forbid, let's take care of prisoners. And
Yeah.
people
I mean,
coming out
I'm gonna
of
be-
prison.
I'm gonna
God
be honest
forbid
with
we
you.
take care of them.
you ever been to a church, a meeting where they account for finances?
The
How
finance
they
meeting.
gonna
Business meeting.
How,
The business meeting.
how they
Yeah.
how they gonna pour money
The
into the
trustee
community
meeting.
when you been collecting money for the church fund and they ain't changed the dough now?
Yeah, but I've been
Yeah.
trying to tell black folks
I
in
mean-
the church, all of you guys that have been going to the church for 50 years, when you get into it with the preacher when you don't like him anymore, right? Y'all need to be asking the preacher, who owned the building? Nobody ever says who owns the church at a business meeting.
No.
Ever.
No.
Never.
No.
They just pay rent
Never.
or pay whatever.
So guess what? That's real estate.
Yeah.
That's real estate.
Yeah.
And the way Richmond is going now, most of these, it don't matter if it's a little bitty church. That your property for a whole lot of people now. The property is worth more than the building structure.
Yeah.
It
Absolutely.
is.
That's
And
why
that's-
St. Paul still own the original site on 27th and Marshall that's up for sale.
So let me say this, and I'm going to go back to the very beginning of this conversation,
Please. I
Andrew,
want
when you asked,
I want
which
you
is
to
why
make
it's so
sure.
important for me, why I'm running for this seat.
There we go.
Because
That's all I want
this-
to know.
I mean, so many people in this district have been left out for so long. I mean, this district is the most challenged more than any other district in the entire city, which has had a leader at the forefront for a long time that's done hoodwinked and bamboozled a whole lot of people.
Ran them up.
And here's the deal. Most elected officials in the city of Richmond, African Americans in particular, were handpicked or chosen to be placed in something.
Absolutely.
They never came there to take care of people.
No.
They were just
Oh,
picked
yeah. Oh, yeah.
to be there
Yep.
for one or two reasons, you know?
Mhm.
And so
Right.
let me give you the parameters of this district. You know, and this is crazy how we have to just keep educating
Do you
people.
cover the Battery Park district?
Now I'm
too?
about to tell you, that's right on the border go right there. So
Damn.
this is crazy. Most people, and I had an event yesterday, and the people were like, "Oh, I thought it was just Northside." I'm like, "Y'all, no." I keep saying that to Northside. This is how crazy this is. It's the largest geographical district in the entire city.
Mm.
So it's all of Highland Park, all of Southern Barton Heights, a third of Jackson Ward, Eastview, so all those single family homes down behind Wickham and all of that, by the jail, all of that's
Yeah.
in it.
8
Eastview,
Fairfield Ave.
downtown, part of the Arts District, Shockoe Slip.
So you got Shockoe Slip too.
Shockoe Slip, the
Wow.
only district that goes from one side of the river to the other to take all of Manchester, all of Belmead.
Wow.
So
and a
that's
third of Oak
that's
Grove.
the sixth district.
Right.
Sixth,
And a third
sixth
of Oak
district.
Grove. And a third of Oak Grove. That's how, which means,
Hold on, you got a big ass district, dog.
yeah, which this is what's crazy though, which means that it's actually the richest district in the city because of the business district. I forgot to say business district. But it's also the poorest because it's home to Wickham Court, Mosby Court, and Hillside Court.
But you know why it's the poorest district, right?
Because it's on the welcome.
No, it's because if you're a person with intelligence, you understand that the district is kept the poorest so they can gentrify for pennies on the dollar.
Yeah,
Like they
that's
did-
what you get.
like they
That's what they got paid to do.
Right, but what I'm saying is what they did was they take those areas, they allow them to inflating crime rate,
Manchester's black.
so that
too.
the value of the all that area will go down.
What's wrong?
Now you come back in. They just did this with Churchill.
And
you come back in-
number one in the city.
Yeah.
That's the most gentrified.
Oh
part.
yes,
But Highland Park right after that.
right.
Yeah.
And
And the only reason why
Brooklyn Park
Manchester
Boulevard.
is because Manchester,
Hey.
where we built up, was mostly
Yo,
warehouses.
keep
Right.
going.
So I mean, listen.
It's a money game.
You have a council person that has served this district for 21 years consecutively.
yes,
That's what I'm
But
trying
you
to
know
tell
how
you.
Came on to city council as a developer herself.
but you know how you
So
get.
she got a lot
but
of
remember
bread
what I
tied
told
in
you
that.
that they air
My man.
they air
like this guy,
those
y'all.
meetings at hours when nobody's watching. So the people who could have voted this person out probably don't even know the person's name.
They don't know.
Yeah, but you know what? But you know
don't know
what?
the name.
But you know what they
They
believe
don't
in?
know the name.
Well, as long as we got the right president,
Yeah.
we're gonna be all right.
Yeah. But people, listen. This
And
is
then when it don't work out for them, they mad at the
they
president
gotta wake
who
up.
don't even
People
know
got
them.
to vote, yo.
Yeah.
Y'all talking about y'all tired and all of this stuff? Yeah, well, we all are. In
Y'all
fact,
hear that, right?
This is what's important right now in Richmond. Let me tell you, and this is divine. City of Richmond right now is on fire.
Yes, it is.
Every day you look at the paper, you look at the news, it's something about City Hall. Let me tell you something.
Accountability.
I've been doing this stuff.
Yeah.
They didn't
Accountability.
want the public to know this stuff. I was one of the few people inside saying, "Y'all need to let the people know what's really going on." They don't want to hear. They didn't want to hear me say that.
Oh no.
But check this out. Because we know what we're faced with, this is the only time in the city of Richmond that people have been on one accord.
Yep.
People are mad as hell in the city of Richmond.
Because it's
right now.
accountability.
You
time.
at least got one thing you're mad about. You either mad about your meals taxes for your business that the city is loud about and they can't fix,
Yeah.
that it was no fault of your own because
Yeah.
you got no notice and now you got a $100,000 bill sitting on your desk, right?
Right.
You're either
Yeah.
mad about a $20,000 and this
Philly
is
vegan,
this is
we
true.
hear y'all, baby. Philly vegan, we hear y'all.
Oh yeah, they know that's my people.
Yeah.
In
That's
fact,
my man.
Philly vegan came to us to the 6th district
Yeah.
first
Oh yeah.
before anybody else and say we got a problem.
Me and
Yeah.
Sam used to rap together back in the day.
Samuel's my guy.
Yeah,
I
man,
don't
we
call him
used to
Sam. I
rap.
say his name's Samuel.
Oh,
Samuel,
he's Samuel now. He look the corp. I go back to the Chronicles. The corp. We was rapping
but
together.
let me just say this though, because I want people to know this.
Yeah, no, get that off.
When we did the meals taxes, he came to us
Yeah,
and he said, "Councilwoman Robinson, we need help. This is a problem, and this is going to ruin us if nobody helps us." On and on. I answered every email, took every phone call because that's my reputation anyway. Everybody at City Hall know I'm the guy who get it done. I work 16 hours a day. When I left my job this year, I had 1,700 hours of leave time. Because in 5 years almost, I took only 2 or 3 days off, right?
Right. Because it's so
Y'all
much
hear that
work.
out
No,
there?
because it's that important to me.
y'all,
Yeah,
y'all,
and
y'all
it's
need a
so
candidate.
much
Y'all
work.
need a candidate that's gonna
It's
work
that
for
important
y'all.
to me. But
Look,
he came to us, and when I said to her, "We have to do something about this," nobody said it to the CAO too. Nobody wanted to do anything. Then I came back again, and I said, "This is gonna blow up," and then it did. Then I said again for the 3rd time, "You have to do something." So we scheduled a meeting, and she said, "Well, as she always said to me, and everybody in the 6th district will tell you this, I don't know what to ask Tavares. He knows. He knows. He can handle it. He know how to do all of it."
oh, so
Been
she
blessed.
basically giving up her job, giving it to you.
And that's exactly what she did for almost 5
Okay.
years. That's how God is so good.
Oh, tell the truth in
So-
in the house of the Lord. Then
And shame the devil.
that's right.
So we brought him in, and they talked to him, and they said, "Well, I can't really receive what you're saying because you didn't try to help us.
Mm.
You didn't try to do anything. And we told you that our employees were going to be impacted. We told you that our livelihood would be impacted. And you didn't do it. And now, this, in fact, and I don't give a damn because when we met months ago, and they told them that they couldn't disclose their agreement in the meeting. You know,
Mhm.
yeah, I know the details of it, but we still have not settled. They told them that we would settle that right away, and that was at least 6, 7 months ago.
But how can you settle it when if you stick your finger in this hole in the dam, 13 more gonna open up?
You can
because
settle anything you want for a city who has now passed a historic budget in 1 year from already historic, $1 billion for a 54, 56 square mile radius city.
Yeah.
Tripled it. Now understand this. We went into this budget cycle that was approved to start for July 1 because the budget runs from June 30th to July 1.
Y'all got that? Born hustlers.
We went, and that's the most, and people, y'all need to know that the budget cycle is the most important part of the city council or administration.
Y'all learned
And
it
it's
today.
only 5 people ever that are citizens in the budget meeting.
Yep.
Oh,
If you don't show up and voice your opinion and stuff, you're going to be left out.
Y'all
Because
hear
they
that?
don't really care. Let me tell you. We went into this budget cycle in a deficit.
Mhm.
We didn't have no money. And we tripled the budget in 1 year to $3 billion now.
but y'all ain't had no money.
$3 billion.
You just said
You
y'all
didn't
ain't
have
had
no money. You know who's going to have to pay for the money? The taxpayers.
Ladies and
So
gentlemen,
now everybody, I said it months ago, everybody's saying, I said, your taxes are going to increase. They're probably going to triple because we tripled the budget.
Yeah.
Now everybody's calling me, oh, my taxes went up. And I said, I told you.
This goes by what you said when you began this whole
this is a
conversation.
good show right here.
Is they don't call the president,
This all right right here.
they don't call the Congress.
No,
If there's a problem, they come straight to y'all.
absolutely.
This is why people need to realize that the
You good
local
over there?
elections are the most important elections. Because I don't care what type of economic problems you think everything, quote unquote, trickle down, it has to start somewhere. So you have to get that local foundation set.
But here's the challenge that we face in the city of Richmond.
All right.
People have been put in a position or in a place and their voices have been taken from them.
Absolutely.
So they just go with the norm.
See,
The
fellas.
norm
Yeah, they see
of
fellas.
what we've normalized in the city. So it's
Like
and-
electing the same person for 21
and-
years
It's
straight.
the work that you guys do. It's the work that you guys do. Listen, we have the most mental health, substance abuse, whatever you name it. It's almost normal to say that if I ride down this corridor in the 6th district, I can expect that people gonna be tweaking, geeking, whatever.
Yeah.
Y'all, that ain't normal. It's not normal for me, and I do this, to show up to almost every homicide in the 6th district, because we lead with most homicides in the city too. We
they
lead with
been
the
up.
biggest crimes, the large crimes in the city.
They
What
We
would
been
you
up.
lead
think?
with almost everything.
Yeah, because you got neighborhoods that's in extreme poverty, undereducated.
You got
schools
all the
is
hoods.
undereducated.
Undereducated, no grocery stores, no resources,
Nigga, you need to-
no nothing.
because
Office
it's
of
that-
Community Welfare
because it's that
ain't
school-
making nobody whole, no nothing.
Because it's that school to penitentiary pipeline.
Man.
And here's the deal. The
It's
biggest
set up for them to be inmates.
And you're right. And one of the biggest issues that we face with Richmond Public Schools is the majority of our students are not up to par by 3rd grade to be at reading level. Now, what we know for certain in the Commonwealth of Virginia is that if you are not up to grade level by 3rd grade, you got a bed in a prison or in a jail.
When
they
they open-
measure.
when
they
they-
measure.
When they opened the new city jail, the sheriff at the time, see what it told him, said, the new city jail ain't for you, it's for your kids. And he said it with a smile on his face.
We having a good conversation. I'm going to interject real quick. We got to take a break. We got to pay the bills. We still having a good conversation. Y'all stay tuned, man, because we coming back with Path of Reentry. We got Brother Tavares Floyd. Hey, look, I like this guy. I'm going to say that before I go to the break. I like this guy. For real. Nah, we talking, we conversating. So if y'all listening to what's going on, everybody that's tuned in on YouTube, everybody that's tuned in on anything else, any social media, y'all on live with your friends, whatever. This is a conversation. There's real boring hustler shit going on over here. If y'all ain't if y'all not picking up any jewels, y'all ain't paying attention, then that's y'all fault. But we're gonna take the break. Pay the bills. Y'all already know what I say, man. We got to pay the bills. Y'all want to help us pay the bills? Hit thetimeradio.com. www.thetimeradio.com. Hit the message board. Let us know something. You know what I'm saying? But we'll be back in a minute because this shit is heavy right now. It's too heavy. But I got to pay the bills.
No, it's that big, guys.
Hold on 1 second. Hey, you see those? You see on right over to where you at? Did you already hit the? You already hit the commercial?
Yeah.
All right, right next to it. This one's bar is nice, A1 clean and.
Oh, all right.
Make sure you hit those.
All right, so
All right.
run that behind it.
You said about the budget, right?
All right.
You know, only 5 civilians or 6 or whatever you said was at that meeting. It's the most important part of the budget being triple what it was before going into that. Is there a place where folks can look at the budget, like
Yeah,
what
they
that
put
money is?
so the budget comes out, and you'll get a synopsis of what you need to know what's included in it, right? I mean, because the damn books are this long. There's 2,000 pages, so it has general operating budget and it has CIP. So that's the improvement budget.
Hey,
So
I
that's-
want you to stop. My bad. I'm sorry. I apologize. I like that question. So we're gonna.
You want to redo that
Yeah,
question?
we no. I mean, whatever, however.
Yeah.
But that's what.
I'm
Yo,
good.
I like you, bro.
I know my shit.
No, I like you for real, bro. No, for real, I like you.
You like us, Albie.
I love y'all. Because I'm a convicted
Because
felon.
I like him too.
Yeah, I look. I'm a convicted felon.
I want you to tell me what you're gonna.
Yeah, because we need to figure out how we're going to make everybody in this room where we got to go.
I
Do
do
what
have
we
a
gotta
quick
do.
question.
Yeah, man.
One of the things we're doing with the network, and we're trying to get it done by next week, is we're trying to start a voting drive. Maybe I can get some information from you. You can help me.
I got the people ready. I got a team of people ready.
All right.
I'm
That's
gonna
easy.
send you his website
That's easy.
information, all the information you need for him,
That's easy.
and we can set
Just
you
call
up.
me.
All right.
Don't, yeah, somewhere.
Okay.
So I want to talk to you about the grant
call
that you're
me.
talking about that the city of Richmond has.
And this is why your council people are important that you have in place, because one of the things that they don't do in Richmond, we almost don't have any council person that's a champion for anything.
No.
So the administration whips council ass every single day. Like, this is how disrespectful the budget is. The mayor takes the budget and presents it to city council 30 minutes before he goes to do a press conference. That everybody else sees it at the same time. And this is how stupid this is. You may meet with them one time, maybe, for them to say, what do you want in your
All those
budget?
people tuning in on YouTube, y'all getting the behind the scenes conversations, all right?
Well, it is what it is.
And no, like, yeah, no,
Public-
this
it's
behind
public.
the scenes.
Y'all, it's public knowledge anyway.
You already know. Look, y'all, we getting information. This Born Hustler, bro. Y'all know what we do over here. We really hustling out here. We really out here hustling, and we brought some real hustlers in here to help us hustle.
How do you
People
get it?
don't
Like,
know.
How do you get it? So how would I mean, for those things I have to have a house in the city.
No, they don't have anything to do with residency.
No, but I mean, meaning.
Oh,
our
no,
house.
no. You don't have to have assets. We would love for you to have it. In fact, the city of Richmond has over 3,000 properties that are in surplus right now that the city isn't utilizing and giving to anybody.
So how can I get a?
You should be able to get a house. These are the things that I'm running on. As a council
I mean, I'm
person,
trying to find a house for.
they
we have
give their
guys.
people, these council people, this council person gave underground kitchen, the commercial kitchen at Annie Giles Center that I had the mural put up on the
I'm gonna
building,
take this
had all the
outside.
programming, all the Christmas,
I'm gonna take
Thanksgiving
this
dinners,
slide.
everything came from
This
my
is like a
people.
bitch.
They
We got
paid
no bowl.
$2
I don't have nothing.
for 6 years
No trash
for one of the
can.
biggest commercial kitchens
Yeah.
in
Open
the
it,
entire
open it.
city.
Open up.
And running their
Trash.
for-profit
Open that,
business
this is trash
inside of
bag.
it.
Can you find
And
us
not
something
delivering
for-
to the East End community that they're supposed to be delivering to.
Wow.
These are the things that happen
This is trash.
over and over
I
again.
heard about that in Maryland where folks would buy, house for $1.
Oh, that happened in Churchill. What happened at City Hall when they knew that the list was coming out for the houses that was $1?
That's the tax foreclosure.
Before they even produced it to the public, the houses were already sold to people that work there.
Because you got one guy who works for the city attorney's office,
Yep.
who has no accountability system, and has been the same guy
Yep.
for however many years running the program,
Yep.
and nobody asked him no questions.
All right, I'm about to bring an intro back in. All right. Give me 1 second. I'm going to bring the intro back in, and we're going to get back into this. And we hot. All right, look, we back. If y'all ain't on, y'all need to go to the YouTube to catch the behind the scenes footage, catch the behind the scenes conversation. You know what I'm saying? We born hustlers. We gonna do what we do over here. But we really having an informative conversation with Path to Reentry, and then we got Brother Tavares Floyd in here, candidate for the 6th District Council seat here in our local area. We are in Richmond, Virginia. Y'all all over the place. But the problem, this is the thing. The problem is not this same conversation that we having, wherever y'all at, y'all need to be having these same conversations. Go to your local law, your local politicians, your local leaders, your local community activists, your local community civic situations. Y'all need to go up here and pull up on their ass, man.
You gotta do it.
You gotta pull up on their ass. Like right now, I got my brother in here, and he's enlightening us on what's going on. Now, my brother got a whole extensive background, civil rights lawyer. We ain't even touching none of that shit. We talking about what's going on in the city. We talking about why he trying to be the next candidate, why he trying to be the next elected city council member. And right now, the way he going, he goddamn got my vote, bro. And that's coming from
campaign for you.
That's coming from me. That's coming from me. I like what he's talking about. I ain't even say none of the questions or even talk about none of the stuff because we touching every topic. So like I said, man, if y'all really like what y'all hearing, y'all need to go to www.thetyme.com. Hit the message board, man. Let us know y'all hearing it. Shout out to Big Time Radio. Got Boss Man G in here. We still running over. We got this conversation going. We gonna keep it going. My brother Anthony asked a nice question while we was on our break. And my brother Tavares straight started going in. So y'all born hustlers.
And I will.
Y'all born hustlers. This is what I'm telling y'all. We gotta be knowledgeable of what's going on. We want that bread. We want that bread. What we saying nowadays? We want that munyon.
You gotta know. Well, go, Anthony.
Yeah.
Can you ask me?
So you had mentioned about the budget that came out and there not being a lot of community involvement in that budget, but
Yeah.
that budget was put out with the council members going in with a deficit and the budget being 3 times more than what it was before when we were going to be recorded. And my question was, where can the people go to see what's in the budget? You know, oftentimes folks always complain about what money is being spent on and not being spent on. Like, where can they see?
So all they have to do is just Google City of Richmond fiscal year budget 2025, and the news circuits usually give you a good synopsis.
Hold up, real quick. My bad. Everybody that's out there all over the world, y'all ain't got to do Richmond, but just do the same thing he just said. Fiscal year budget. Go ask y'all people. Go ask y'all local leaders for the fiscal year budget. Ask about that type stuff. All right, my bad.
Well, because they run from one fiscal year to the next, and fiscal year is different from a calendar year. Absolutely. Like, so they can just Google it. It will pull up. But, I mean, you can go online and get the electronic version, too. That's probably 2,000 pages for the general operating budget and then 2,000 pages for CIP. But, I mean, you do this for so long, you know what to look for, right? Well, I do, because most of the council people don't even read the binders when they give them to them.
Ooh.
And they don't. And then that's why they sit in meetings for 6 hours asking questions.
Hey, look, y'all get the real shit from Boy Hustla.
They give them the answers, and they're like, y'all didn't read what we gave you?
But at the end of the day, that's absolutely right. And see, that's my issue with a lot of these politicians out here.
And I'm not a politician, so let's make that clear.
Yeah, but like I said, this is my issue with a lot of the politicians out here. And they pass and they draft these bills and these laws, and that shit be like 900 pages. Who the fuck really reading 900 pages?
Because it's like that by design.
Exactly.
Because, like he said in the beginning, a lot of these people in these seats are placed there. And they're placed there because they seat fillers and they yes men. They don't ask any questions. They're gonna go along with the agenda.
Or if they do ask something, it's just spinning wheels.
Exactly.
And they doing it to make a point, so they.
Because running in place ain't progress.
A lot of them are arrogant.
Yep.
A lot of them want to, they want their questions to be better than your line of questions, whatever. But let me say this to that budget, because I want people to be hip on this shit.
Ooh,
Y'all gotta show up to the goddamn meetings.
talk to
You
him.
gotta show.
You can get a marketplace.
Man, this nigga ready to make me vote for him
You gotta
right
show up.
now.
You gotta show up
Hey,
To ride your bike.
when people are, and you have to have, and here's the beauty of this: the numbers are what really matter. So if you got people in your community, and I tell people, if you got a network, bring your network with you.
Yep.
If they can't come with you, create a document and have them sign it. And then when you got 80 people and you bring it to city council and you say all of these 80 people that live in this community, this is what they want. Because that's really how it's supposed to go. It's listen, it's this many elected officials and it's this many people.
That they're serving.
The people pay the taxes. The people pay the bills for those elected officials.
Yeah.
The people actually have the voice.
I pay y'all
And
salary.
in Richmond, it's sad, but there are a whole lot of people that
Because they undereducated
You
how
have-
the system works.
and they've forgotten how much voice they actually have.
Well, when you're presented in a situation where you feel powerless, you believe it.
Yeah, absolutely.
For example, I always go back to this, the way they did gentrification here. Instead of informing the people and giving them the knowledge, the people who actually owned and were renting the homes, about grants that can help them fix the property, they made them believe, oh, you just not taking care of the property and driving the value down. Now we're going to come in and we're going to fix it. But you didn't come in and fix it. What you did was you got it for cheap, and because you have the power of knowledge, you applied the grants that they could have applied if they had the knowledge to apply.
Wait.
So basically you stole everything and then you used the same taxpayer money you stole to now make the property more valuable, and now the people who were born and raised in that community can't live in that community. Perfect example. Mosby Middle School was a leaky building. It didn't have the proper textbooks or the tools. But as soon as the dynamic of Church Hill changed, oh, let's build a brand new school.
It's good.
And to appease the few minorities that's left, we'll keep it MLK. We'll name it MLK.
Yeah.
Because that's what you do. You dangle a carrot. Oh, we named it after Martin Luther King. But it's not even for your children.
But here's your deal. Here's your deal. The game in Richmond is development.
Absolutely.
That's the number
Y'all
one
hear
game.
that? Y'all hear that out there?
Motherfuckers is talking about affordable housing.
Oh yeah.
They done morphed that into whatever definition they want to morph that into. It ain't affordable housing. Let me tell you something. You got a representative in this seat, and see, they will try to attack me. They will do whatever because I speak the truth. I speak truth to power, and I don't care. That's all I got for you.
Right.
She will say she's all for affordable housing, but in the same breath is a number one bought and sold elected official in the entire city. There's no way in hell you can be for affordable housing and developers tell you what you can and can't do. Which is why I'm running for this seat now, and she's in the race too, because she was supposed to retire, and she reneged on me. Because she calls me one day and she says to me, after the community has asked her to retire, and says that we want Tavares to be our next representative, and tells me that we need to talk. And I'm just thinking it's a regular conversation. 30 minutes into the conversation, she looks at me and she says, I'm going to do it again. And I said, you going to do what again? I don't know what she's talking about, you know. I'm going to run again. And I'm like, wait a minute, what? And I said, why would you do that? After we done told everybody, now she going around telling folks she wasn't going to retire. And everybody was like, that's a lie, because you came to me and you literally told me this.
Right.
So that's just the games they play.
Absolutely.
Now, in that conversation, it was, you know, I have to do it again. I said, well, why would you do that again? Those developers want me to do it again.
Those developers. The key word,
I gotta do it
developers.
I gotta do it.
She didn't
again.
say the community.
But then they'll find themselves in a
Right.
position like I witnessed.
She
And
didn't
she
say-
say her, and I ain't said this on no thing, and I don't care, cause right about now, cause I'm going in, cause I'm on I'm gonna really go in on it because you want to because it's getting heated now. So I got to be real.
You want me to make a
But
diss
this
song
Not in
for
this
you?
room. I'm talking about in general.
You-
in the landscape.
You want me to
Yeah,
make
and the other thing was her husband didn't want her at home either.
But
Oh, y'all hear that?
But to your
Oh.
point,
That on the record.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got mud slinging.
but to your point of
She said it. I didn't.
Okay, see?
That's not hearsay. That's not allegedly. That's facts.
Oh well, we just got
Whatever comes out of my mouth,
we
I don't
just
have to
got
say
quotes.
allegedly.
but
We got
I know
quotes.
it. Look, I know the woman better than her own husband, so don't take me there.
but to your point about the affordable housing thing,
Yeah.
it's not just a Richmond thing because I spent 8.5 years in Florida. When I got to Florida, Rick Scott was running Florida.
Yeah.
He took affordable housing money so that the people who work there, for all y'all who like to visit Florida, they got a grant for affordable housing so the people who work there that service you when you go to Florida could have affordable housing. He took that money and built condos that started off at $2,000 a month.
Mm.
So then when they looked into him, he moved on to another seat because this is how politics works. They don't go to jail. They get promoted. So he goes to another seat. Then they bring in DeSantis. DeSantis steals from the relief budget for Puerto Rico. But yeah, he's still a politician.
Well, here's the. Let me.
So it's like, to me, it just seemed like it's just a game of moving shells.
You know,
like
I'm gonna
three-car
respond
Monte.
locally. I'm gonna respond locally, and I understand all of that because I know exactly what you're talking about. You have people in place right now who, first of all, one particular person was put on a bus
Oh, don't think that. I'm
That was
glad I
paid
ain't going
for.
live.
that was paid for and said that I'm gonna take you through your district, and this is what you're gonna do to gentrify. You're gonna be the person that gentrifies the whole city.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
your
yeah.
whatever. It's your friend. You said the name earlier. I didn't. So
That ain't my
this
friend.
that literally, and the person who
Oh, you talking about my
got
friend?
the bus owns a chain of something.
You know
Huh?
what I'm saying?
No, grocery stores.
Here we go.
It says, I'm going to tell you what you're going to do. And she did it.
And that's why you say they put people in place.
And she did it.
Man, I had
That's a
some.
different way.
But here's...
Y'all ever had the U crop cookies?
Yo.
Hey, wait a minute.
You trying to be funny. No, I know what you just did. I'm gonna ask you a question. I'm gonna ask your opinion on something. And I heard this as I was walking out. When you was talking about the housing.
Get the U
issue.
crop cookies.
One of the things I've noticed, I've been in Richmond all my life. My family was raised came from Richmond. My grandmother used to live in Creighton Court. You know what I'm saying?
Which they're fucking up right now.
Right, and
I'm
that's
going to talk about that too.
that's my problem.
I'm gonna
I'm
talk
having.
about that.
That's my problem I'm having. I do not respect the fact that they are tearing up some of these projects. There's a reason why they call them projects, but they are tearing up some of these projects, and then turn around and saying, but we're going to give the people that were living here already first dibs to purchase it after we finish. But yet knowing that those people cannot afford to purchase
That's
that.
intentional. Can I?
Right.
Let me. That's if you got another part of that question, we'll answer.
No, that
But
was
let me answer that.
New age segregation.
I'm gonna answer that. So one piece of that is that in the city of Richmond, the average cost to build a new apartment
Mm.
or to rehab an apartment in the city of Richmond is $300,000 per unit. Do you know how much it costs to rehab each of the units that they're doing in Creighton Court right now?
What?
$300,000. Wow.
Each unit.
Don't nobody do that in a project.
Yeah.
Hold on. They rebuilt.
$300,000 per unit in Creighton Court, which is the same amount that it costs
Niggas,
to
they
do.
taking out the bricks.
But here's the deal.
Well, they're not doing
No,
it
they
for
tore
the,
them
tore
up.
it down.
They tore it down.
Yeah, no, that's what
But
I'm
here's
saying.
the deal. Here's the game. It'll be built in a year.
Right.
We passed that. It'll be built in 2 years. You're almost there.
Oh, Creighton,
Here's
Wickham.
here's the challenge. Here's the challenge.
I'm thinking about
Here's the
Wickham.
deal.
I'm thinking.
If
about
I take you as a low income resident and you uproot and you go somewhere else, a year's time, you done change your whole life. You ain't never coming back.
Well, they moving them out to Chesterfield. That's why
You
Chesterfield
ain't never
County
coming
getting
back.
so bad.
I'm not coming back. First of all, that's a furniture cost. That's a moving cost. That's a this, that's a that. My children are in a new school system now.
Well,
I ain't never coming.
well, in a year's time, we've incarcerated everybody in your
And-
household. We
and
can
that too.
incarcerate.
And so here's what.
That's why they pushing them out to the counties. It's just like Georgia. When you go to Atlanta, they are all the poor people in the county.
Yeah, well, we pushed
Because
them,
each county got their own police
we
department.
pushed them to Chesterfield.
Yeah.
And we pushed them to certain parts of Henrico.
Yes.
But now they're leaving there because they're pushing them to Petersburg.
Right.
And then you're taking them to Petersburg, and now the governor wants Petersburg to be his godchild. So he's investing all this money. Y'all got casinos coming out. This is probably going to happen. They're not going to be able to be in Petersburg either.
Right.
So where are these people going? I think that was my point. That was my.
They're
second.
not going.
Yeah.
They're not.
Right.
They're going to the streets.
Right. Exactly.
Or to the jail.
Or the jail or dead.
Yeah.
Your pick: street, jail, dead.
And then to add insult the injury to the people that they put in these jails for bodies for profit. Now they got a whole new plan that nobody's talking about. Oh, our mentally ill veterans, we'll just lock them up too. So that's a whole new source of revenue.
Yeah.
And my thing is this: the correction officers already can't deal with the common criminal. Now you gonna put trained assassins in this
And they're
facility?
overwhelmed. They're overwhelmed already. I mean,
Come on,
and
man.
even for the city. Listen, we can
They
think
don't
about
care
this.
cash for bodies.
Sheriff department overwhelmed. They don't have enough people.
Yep.
Police department, we're down 140 officers.
Yep, they are.
140. If
Shit,
you
they
call the
try-
police
they try to
department Richmond right
recruit
now, they may or may not show up.
Oh, they already closed
Look,
on the weekend.
Hey, no bullshit. Hey,
On the
yo.
weekend, they're
no,
closed.
they in Chaco Bottom on the weekend.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is,
Yo.
how can your main
Yo.
precinct literally be? I'm talking about literally closed on a Saturday night, right past the main precinct. The doors are shut. You can't get in.
I know
The
that.
garage doors are locked.
I know
And you
that.
know when you call them, you know what they say? Oh no, we only do outbound calls, and you can't come. If you go to the precinct, you're gonna down there.
They answered you.
Yes, and it's crazy.
I work in Shackle Bottom. I do security and I see that shit every weekend. And see, this is the problem I have with that too, because see, they started this thing now, and if y'all anybody out there, like I said, we talking about where we live at right now, but this shit is going on in every
Across the United
States. Y'all got a
It's
club
politics as
district.
usual.
Y'all got a club district. Y'all got a place where all the people hang out. See where I'm at, man. We got these young look. The cops.
But
took
you know what's crazy about yours? I live in the slip on
Yeah.
Browns Island.
See?
So my condo is sitting on the river.
Yeah.
I can go from the slip where we got folks that's the lines all wrapped around the buildings. Ain't no police. You may have
Tap
one
house.
police officer.
Tap
Ain't no
house.
streets blocked off. Ain't no nothing.
Look.
Right.
But then I go 2 streets over. Every street's blocked off.
Oh, that's what the brown folks.
all
say.
the lights are on.
That's what the brown folks say.
Folks, and I'm like,
But
what
you
kind
know
of-
why?
That's a separated city.
But you know why?
That's the way
That's
out.
unacceptable.
But you know why? No. You know why? As a security officer, you know why? You know why? Because these young motherfuckers want to walk around with the guns out hanging off their ass like they quick draw.
No, but
McGraw.
here's my thing. Why have we given people a space to tell them that we're going to block off every street in the bottom? No. We ain't going to block off the streets.
But that's
Y'all
the thing.
going to take y'all asses home, and you ain't going to be down here. That's how we used to do back in the day.
But see, and that's the thing. They never got back. They tried to get in front of it, but they got behind it because they let it get in front of them. It's always been days to where in Shaco Bottom, even back when I was on that before working in there, they was partying.
Wait a minute.
They was partying before we got there. Hold on. Y'all good?
Yeah, listen, man. What's up?
No, ain't no problem. We want to get before we gonna finish this conversation.
Because I can rap all night about real shit.
Oh no, we got a few
this
minutes.
is personal,
We got a few minutes. We gonna go for another few minutes. But we want to thank Path Reentry for coming in and sitting down with us.
And if you local,
Yeah.
starting tomorrow, you need to you need to Google the Richmond International Film Festival. Stop saying that there's nothing to do in your city. No, that same thing that you use to get on social media and get in the comments and argue with each other, you need to use it as a resource and tap into what's locally going on in your city.
And then y'all also need to go to pathreentry.org.
And y'all need to get them some coins.
Yeah. Y'all heard
The
it.
ones that fold, not the ones that shake.
Pathreentry.org. They out here helping people. They coming
Bless
in.
y'all, man.
They helping people from coming to jail. So y'all need to go to pathreentry.org. And we gonna keep talking about this shit every time we on here. And we love y'all.
We love you too.
We see y'all coming out tomorrow.
Y'all
Y'all
see
coming out tomorrow.
I'll be in DC. I'll be there Sunday.
All right, we gonna
I'll
see
be
you Sunday.
Yeah.
We got an invitation for you too, brother.
You better make sure.
Oh no, we do.
All right, you have a
All
good
right, so now we had some guests leave. We had to go ahead and respectfully let them out. And see, we out here, we talking some real shit right now. We got like another 10 minutes because everybody gotta go to work and got shit to do.
Let's bring it home.
But we talking this shit, man. And now to all my born hustlers, I'm gonna solve this real quick. We gonna give y'all the closing and then we gonna let it go. Now listen, we sat here today and we gave y'all all the information. We brought people on, information, what's really going on. We never gonna be no born. We not born hustlers if we not informing y'all. We not born hustlers if we not educating.
But they
y'all.
gotta be engaged.
And that's the
We
part
can
right
give
there.
it to you. You have to be engaged in the process.
And that's the part right
Absolutely.
there. And this brother in here,
Which means you need to take action.
You got to take action.
yeah. And my brother came in, and like I said, we need new shit going on, and in all areas, wherever you at. Get them 20, 30-year motherfuckers out them fucking seats, dog.
Out the way. And here's the deal with that. We all have a season. And these people know that their seasons are up.
Absolutely.
And it's just
they can't even relate to the people.
They can't relate. They don't know the issues. They don't know the priorities now. But they want to do it because it gives them a power position.
Status.
Or a status quo.
And the kickbacks that they've been getting
that too.
over the
'Cause
years.
They kick it.
That's
they kick it.
That's why they was
kick it.
placed in this season. You be a good
Look.
yes man, and
Look.
I'll take care of you.
And
Get
see-
me through to the finish line.
Like my brother's been saying, it's not about y'all can vote for the president or whoever. It's cool. I'm gonna vote for my dog.
But make sure you voting for your city council.
But y'all need to
and doing
exactly.
the research on who represents
Go
your
to
district.
them, see who this. Because if y'all look at y'all look at y'all stats and y'all understand what's been going on, the same people that's been holding y'all back and sitting in the same position.
That's why y'all grandmama's house has been sold right now.
Exactly.
Y'all
Y'all
stop gentrification, but lack of knowledge and applying knowledge.
y'all
And can I say something to that?
Bro,
because
say
I
what
want
you
to say
want.
this earlier. Listen, I asked the city to do a study, and I wanted to have maps and color coded, and go back for a certain amount of years and whatever. And I put the meetings together and all this stuff. And it was my idea, man. She liked to say it was hers, but it wasn't, because I was the brainchild. Period.
Oh yeah.
Now, when I asked them to do it and they gave the information for 15 years back, which I knew this to be the case though, but it was just so overwhelming and disappointing. That shit was the same communities in Richmond every single year that has been disproportionately impacted and marginalized. And I said, okay, I'm going to take this a step further. I said, I want to see how much money is in the bank from them tax sales that we've done. We've taken those people's property from them black folk. The only piece of property that most of them had in their family for generations, that was a generational piece of wealth.
Mm-hmm.
Went in that thing, it was like $7 or $8 million in the bank.
Damn.
And I said to them, I said, now, this is what we're going to do. I said, we're going to create a program where we're going to pour that same amount of money back into those communities that we've impacted. Because these are the same folks that are calling me on the phone telling me that I owe $900 in property taxes to the city that I can't afford because I'm on a fixed income.
Right.
And that's all the free money I got for the whole year.
Yeah.
Twice.
Yeah.
Because you got one half, and the other half. And I pay so many of those people bills myself personally. Because I say, I'd be damned if they take your $500,000 house, because that's what it's worth now in Highland Park.
Mm-hmm.
You know, $500,000 now.
Yeah.
You paid $15,000 when you bought it, but
Yeah.
it's worth $500 now.
Yeah.
And I said, well, we're gonna create this program and we're gonna give them that money back. Oh, good. Guess what? That money's still sitting in the same goddamn pot that it was when I said it.
Yeah. Because they just yes man. I told you, they just yes men.
Still sitting
Y'all
there.
hear that out there? My people out there, if y'all
Still sitting
listening.
there.
Because it's not designed. They want to take the
Still
profit.
I hope y'all listening out there, man. Like, I really
It's
hope y'all
sick.
listening.
And it's going from state to state because this is also a red button issue in Florida.
Yeah.
Because you can't raise the rent in 55 and up communities, so they're raising the taxes, and the people who have worked deserve to retire saying, well, I guess I'll just drop dead and don't get my heart medication, but I'll pay you your taxes.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's nobody advocating for
And
that.
And
that's
that
what
is
we can't
not
do.
how life is supposed to go.
No.
Only in America that the expectation is that you are born, you're expected to work and die.
Yep.
That is not how this shit's supposed to work.
Absolutely not.
No.
That's
You're
crazy.
supposed to live a fruitful life,
Yeah.
not to be bogged down by taxes, not to be bogged down by a system that don't have you in mind, not to be bogged down by people who could care less about you. That is not the reality of life.
And if you really do your research, you'll find out a lot of these taxes are unlawful.
Yeah. But if you don't know better, you don't know better.
No, you pay for your ignorance.
You got to be engaged.
Yep.
And that's that same system that they don't want us to preach about.
Nope.
And they really don't
That's
want
why
us
they
to say
changed the curriculum. Got rid of economics. Let's take that out.
But
You
here's
can't
the
have
deal,
them have
and
econ.
I'm one of the most experienced people in this entire city that can run a ring around anybody, and they know that. But they don't want me to open my mouth for nothing.
No, because you're gonna shine a light on everything.
I am fighting a battle that's going to take people to change, to make it fold.
Because they already bleeding out right now with the accountability that's
And
being
they
held
can't
at City Hall.
stand it. They can't
Yes,
stand it.
they trying to plug that hole
They
right
can't
now. They're
stand
like,
it.
Lord, how can we stop them? They all up
can't
in our
stand
business.
And
But-
they keep going in on it.
Look, I was baffled when they said, when we came in and did the assessment, the people you said owe money is undeposited checks.
Sitting on the desk.
That's then
And
when
that's
we,
been happening.
then when we further assess the situation, the people y'all got in the position handling these accounts ain't even qualified on paper to do the job you done gave them.
Well, I've been saying this stuff for so long, but they don't want me. See, when you say things,
Oh yeah,
see, but here's the deal. Touch not my anointing and do my prophet no harm.
Mm.
Y'all better know who you're messing with.
absolutely.
See, I'm protected by the Almighty.
See what I mean?
You
Y'all hear
can
that?
come against me, you can do whatever, but I'm gonna be good at the end of the day.
Absolutely.
Because I'm walking in. See, here's the difference between me and other people that are in these races. I don't assign myself to things. I walk in my assignment.
Exactly.
There's a big difference.
There is a big
There's a
difference.
big difference.
Because you're not getting to see, and you got to find your purpose. You're living in your purpose.
I know what it is. I know what I'm
Exactly.
called to do.
Exactly.
People are depending on me for the special gifts that God has imparted in me to be able to do something for them that will be life-changing and life-measuring. And I'm going to do that. I always have. I'm going to do that
And
to
I
a
believe
grand
you.
scale. What we will do in November when we flip these seats and we turn these things over, we will change people's mindsets, the way they think, their thought processes, everything. It will be a new day. And they are afraid of that.
But the day it had to come.
It's divine intervention.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something. If the people that are in place now and in charge could change things and fix what's going on in the city of Richmond right now, they would have done it. They can't.
They can't.
They
We-
can't.
They
They can't.
It's not even designed for them
They
to fix
can't.
it.
This is a space that's being created for us that are charged to take this city to the next level.
Yep.
And it's going to happen. But it's going to take the people to ensure that that happens. Y'all listening? Make it happen.
Absolutely. The power is with the people.
Man, you know what? I ain't even gonna front, bro. I fuck with you, bro. I ain't even gonna front with you. I like just for the simple fact of I appreciate you coming out here. You know what I'm saying? Like, and for real, you enlightened us. You really dropped it and gave us some jewels as to what's really going on. My man He been behind the scenes holding shit down. He been the man back there in City Hall. That's what it sounds like to me.
That's the truth.
He been back there holding it down, like, and he's out. And now is his time to go ahead and take his rightful spot.
I've sown my seeds, my brother.
You know what I'm saying? And
Because time is your most valuable currency, and this
And-
time has been
and-
well spent.
and what we just experienced right now, and these past that, like, everything that happened today could happen, but it happened right on time. And I'm gonna go ahead and say that because I be in my own head about shit, but I gotta realize that it ain't nothing but the energy that we put out and the energy that we continue to put out. I don't give a fuck what's going on in your life. And a lot of bad shit been going, and a lot of weird shit been going on, but we gotta stay the course. And for this moment right here that we just witnessed on Born Hustler Radio, for all my friends listening YouTube, y'all listening on air, you know what I'm saying? We get like an average like 2,000-3,000 listeners a month. You know what I'm saying? Whatever. But people know and people hear it. We had a good brother come in here, new blood. Everybody that's listening, y'all go find y'all new leaders out there, bro. The motherfuckers that's been sitting in the chair for 40, 50 years, get them motherfuckers the fuck up out there. I'm going to say it like
They
that.
can't even relate to you.
That's
Get 'em-
on
get
the
'em- get
people.
'em the fuck
people
up out
can
there.
Get them up out of there.
Get them the
You
fuck
can
up
get 'em
out
out.
there. And if y'all go back and look at your city council, go get y'all city fiscal reports. It's public
You know,
information.
and matter of fact, pull up their legislation to see what they ain't done
you
or
hear
what
that?
they did do.
So
You hear
in
that?
other words,
that mess you over.
so
You
in
hear
other
that?
words, whether it's your Z Flip, whether it's your Galaxy, your iPhone, and if you got the 16, you can ask the AI to do it for you. That same thing you use to scroll and like them booty pictures,
And Diddy.
or them all
It's the
shirt
same- it's the
pictures,
same phone.
them hoochie daddy short pictures. You can use that same phone to look up this information.
and look up their campaign finance reports, because I'm gonna say this on the record too. This councilperson that's in this position for 21 years has been 100% funded by developers. Never asked citizens in the district for no donation.
No, because it's a
Nothing.
yes man for the
and
developer.
see,
Never.
and see, that's
That's
easy.
not
That's
how
an
it's
easy
supposed
swipe
to
of the
work.
check.
No.
Y'all hear that?
And that is a conflict
hear that
of
out
interest.
there?
That's not how it's supposed to
Y'all
work.
hear that
How
out there?
How can you be unbiased if the developers that you're gonna have to vote on money and stuff is
She
funding you?
got the in this cycle report. She got the planning commissioner for a donation. He a developer too. Listen, she had something the other day where she had a groundbreaking for some affordable housing, quote unquote, that she already had a groundbreaking for. But it's so convenient for you to have another one. That's her best friend, who's the executive director over the organization that she made the city give $30 million to. That's the biggest for any kind of housing ever for Richmond. Give it to
This
the
nigga got
same
my vote,
person,
bro.
the
Backdoor
same
handshake
person,
deals, man.
the same person that said when we were naming the streets for this organization, because I was in their office, and she said when they came there and said, well, maybe we'll name one after her, and I told her that, and she said, I'll never do that. Because an elected official ain't supposed to take no damn street naming after themselves, and they named one after her last week too.
Like I said, you gotta hold these people accountable, man. You gotta hold these people accountable and stop thinking just because you voted for the president of the United States, you did something. You did absolutely nothing. Man, you gotta vote your council members. That's who making the laws, who the budgets, all of this. So if you can hear this voice, take heed to it. When you go to those election polls, make sure you pay attention to who you voted for on your local city council. And know what their policies is, their legislation. What have they done? What have they not done?
And know what they
Do the
standing
research.
on, bro. Know exactly what your elected official or your candidate is standing on. Like, don't be out here trying to just picking the fucking names just cause it sound good and
It's
he
not
the
A,
most
B, C,
popular.
D. Don't just
You know what I'm
be picking
saying? Don't
the
do that.
letter in the middle.
Don't
no.
do that.
It's just,
And-
I don't know. I'm gonna just pick somebody.
Or the first one.
Yeah.
But
Because all of the
definitely,
first ones are going to be the incumbents.
but
So
definitely
They will get their paperwork in before anybody.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Definitely exercise y'all rights to vote. Now, we're talking about our elected. We're talking about a candidate from our elected, he's trying
City.
from our city. You feel what I'm saying?
But this applies to
But this
all
goes
cities in the
everywhere.
United
This
States.
is not. This ain't no
It's their
fucking.
civic duty.
Yeah, exactly.
And
Y'all
it's your obligation to be educated
Exactly.
and to know what's in front of you and what's in your lap.
Exactly.
Y'all want to
Because-
cry about democracy? Do your part.
And these are decisions that are going to be impact. These things last for 20, 30 years.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
And it's you, your children, your children's children. Y'all got to be engaged.
Oh
Absolutely.
yeah.
It's time to care for real and do something about it.
Make
Now-
it do what it do.
With that said, like, we started late, but this conversation, like, I want to keep going, but we got shit to do.
Yeah, I got to be up at 4 a.m.
Yeah, we got shit to do. With that being said, I'm gonna give my last plug for the night. Tomorrow we Born Hustler Radio gonna be all outside for the rest of the week, from September 24th to the 29th. We're gonna be a part of the Richmond International Film Festival. That's 170 films that's been submitted from filmmakers all over the world, and then we have
25
over
different countries.
from 20, yeah, y'all heard what he said, 25 different countries. And then we got 30 musical acts from all over the country. And guess what? Your motherfucking boy is in charge of all that shit. Dealing with all that music. I'm producing shows and shit this week. So I'm actually working hard. I'm producing shows. I'm doing the sound. I'm live mixing. I'm doing sound engineering. I'm even hosting some shows. And then if y'all act right, y'all can fucking catch me DJing somewhere. So with that being said, we got shit to do tomorrow. We going to a party. I want to invite my brother tomorrow if he ain't got nothing to do, but he got all week.
I don't miss stuff.
We gonna be at
we in there like swimwear.
we gonna be at we got our opening party for the Richmond International Film Festival tomorrow, so you can get.
And where's it going to be at?
We're gonna be at the Quirk Hotel, man. We're gonna be on a rooftop acting like we ain't got no motherfucking sense. And we're gonna be shaking hands with all the people that we need to shake hands with. Cause one thing about motherfucking Born Hustlers, baby, we get in where we fit in. And that's the only way we can wit in. Y'all like that, Bob? Yeah, nigga rap too. But we're gonna be at Quirk, and we're gonna kick off. Well, we kicked off the festival 2 weeks ago, and now we're actually kicking off the physical festival tomorrow. We're gonna be at Quirk. We're gonna be partying like we ain't got no fucking sense. And guess what? Olo's got his hair done. I got shaved up. So you know we're gonna be outside. And then we're gonna convince our brother Tavares to come outside and hang around with our ass too. And guess what? With that being said, this has been one of the most explosive shows, one of the most informative shows that we done had today or this year, which is needed. We ain't even talk about my homeboy, but we'll talk about him next week. But with that being said, early voting is up. Go to your respective neighborhoods, respective civic offices, legislative office, all your little city council places, city halls, wherever you at. Y'all go there, go check in, exercise your right to vote. But put the right motherfucker in there. Somebody that care about y'all. Somebody that got your best interests at heart. And somebody that agrees with what you're trying to do. Other than that, we love y'all. Treat each other like y'all need to treat each other, man.
Peace.
What you want to say?
Is that all? No, I'm good.
You ain't got nothing else to say? Hey, look,
Oh,
don't
am I
forget.
on? Yeah.
don't-
I just, no, 2
Yeah.
seconds, because you done said it all.
Yeah, go ahead.
You done sound like a preacher. You done took up all the offering time.
We getting
No,
ready
I
for the
just-
second
I just,
offering.
Honestly, I really want to thank people for being on here listening and being engaged and doing the right thing. I want people to know how deep this stuff is. All the issues that people complain about is personal to them. It's personal to me too. And I just want them to go to the polls, vote, make a difference, help us turn these ships, and be on the right page with things. That's it. That's all I gotta say, y'all. It's on them at that point.
For Olos, he got the chips in his hand. For my brother Tavares Floyd, candidate for the 6th District Council seat here in Richmond, Virginia. And my name is Al B. Anywhere, man. Y'all just listen to Born Hustler, man. Like I said, man, y'all get y'all asses out there and do the right thing, man. We love y'all.
Ciao.
And see y'all next week.
Peace.
That's all right. We done.
Let's
Boom.
go.
We done.
Is it gone?
Hold on, I'm about to let me cut off the